from his studios in New York, it's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be here with you every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here inside the Wake Up Call studios, a place that I love calling home, and I always appreciate wherever we're at. You know, obviously, our studios are in central and upstate New York, and we have also broadcasted live all over the country. I got to pull up a map here to remind myself where the heck I've been. But we have broadcasted, and proud to have broadcasted all over this great nation. We have been in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We've also broadcasted from Brooklyn, New York, Washington, D.C., throughout the Carolinas. We have done work inside of Greensboro as well as Charlotte. We broadcasted live from Houston, Texas, did some video down in Houston, as well as Omaha, Nebraska, and I know there's a few other places, Detroit, Michigan that we had this year, Dayton, Ohio that we had this year, and then when it comes to our second home in the state of Florida, we broadcasted from Jacksonville, as well as from St. Augustine, Orlando, and so on and so forth. So, to everybody that's tuned in, thank you so much for listening to the show. And to all the cities that let us call your place home just for a little while, even if it was, we thank you for your hospitality and appreciate your time. So, with that being said, happy Friday, folks. May the 4th be with you. It is Star Wars Day, and so if you go to cnypopfestival.com and click on Buy Your Tickets, you will get a special promotion where you buy an adult ticket, you get a free children's ticket to the show. For every May the 4th be with you adult ticket bought, you get a free children's ticket, and they're only adult tickets. So you can, if you buy 10 May the 4th be with you tickets, you got 10 adult tickets and 10 free children's tickets. Every single ticket together for the child and the adult is over a $30 value. You're getting it for under $20. So do that today, and May the 4th be with you, because after today the sale is gone. So the CNY Pop Festival, we will be having Syracuse Orange men's basketball as well as Syracuse Orange football alumni coming to the show. Including with that, we're going to have entertainers from all around the country and even some outside of the country when it comes to shows like The Flash, as well as Power Rangers, Star Wars itself here on Star Wars Day. We got a lot of people coming, so shout out to Sonny Spira, by Musakeda, as well as Roosevelt Bowie Jr., Kyle McIntosh, Rob Drummond, Dale Shackelford, Gene Waldron, Dennis Duval, and Dawan Coleman, all coming on the sports side of things, as well as some other guests that'll be joining us from that. And then on the entertainment side of it, I'm very happy to say that we're going to be joined by a lot of amazing people. One of them we haven't even announced yet, but Michelle Harrison from The Flash, Mark Dodson from Star Wars, Charles Barnett III, who is an inker for Marvel and DC, Jeff Perazzo, Kevin Duhaney, and Blake Foster from the Power Rangers world, as well as Jeff Perazzo was just in Molly's Game with Jessica Chastain, and Kevin Duhaney's been all over the place. He's worked with Dave Chappelle, and he had an opportunity on Four Brothers to work with Andre Three Stacks from Outkast, as well as Tyrese Gibson and Mark Wahlberg. So make sure that you buy your tickets now to the show, cnypopfestival.com. Click on Buy Tickets and get that May the 4th Be With You sale ticket, which is over $30 in value for under $20, saving more than $10 to come to the show by bringing yourself and your child. So make sure that you do that. To all the aunts and uncles and parents and grandparents out there, get your ticket and get your free children's ticket with the May the 4th Be With You sale. Do not hesitate, because at midnight today, May 4th, they will be gone. With that being said, we appreciate you tuning into the broadcast every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're hanging out on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and it's time to hop into the beginning of the show which I always love on a Friday. And what I have as the annoying moment of the week today, I'm actually going to try and fix today. So we'll talk about it right now.
Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We like to start off the show by giving you our menu of topics. The morning menu, that is. Live now with the morning menu is Dan Tortora.
The morning menu here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. For today's broadcast, as we always do on a Friday, we are going to start with the annoying moment of the week. Cannot wait for this. The annoying moment of the week. A-Mow, baby. It's coming up here in just a moment. And after the annoying moment of the week, you're going to have some fun here live in significant sound bites, a special segment to the Friday broadcast of Wake Up Call. We will be joined by Harold Landry. Harold Landry, the Boston College defensive lineman, linebacker, whatever you'd like to call him. Some see him as an outside linebacker. Others see him as a defensive end. I see him as a talent, and I am ecstatic. I covered this man when he was in high school. He was on the show when he was in high school, and now here we are today where 5 years have gone by, and he is an NFL second-round draft pick, and he is wonderful enough to come back on to the show, so I can't wait to have him here. He played as a true freshman all the way through with Boston College, set the Boston College single-season record with 16.5 sacks in 2016, second in the BC record book with 26 career sacks, 47.5 career tackles for a loss is second in BC history, and 22 tackles for a loss in 2016, second all-time in a single season. So if he's not first, he's second in the history of Boston College football. All of that nitty-gritty, he is second in the history of all of that. So very happy that Harold Landry, 41st overall, second-round pick, the Tennessee Titans traded up to get the young man out of Boston College, and he will be on the show in just a little bit here to hang out with us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time and speak on the Tennessee Titans and how he is trying to obviously go in there and make the Tennessee Titans defense a little bit scarier when we know that the Jaguars in the same division are going to bring it to anybody that goes up against them and have obviously brought it most recently. And then in the second hour of the show, starting at 10 a.m., you'll be able to watch us on Facebook as well as listen to us here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. He's in the studios with me right now, and he will be on at 10 a.m. That's John Newman of Newman Sports Cards. I got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about. John's got some stuff. I have some gold Babe Ruth love. I got some Hank Aaron bat love. We got some autographs. We got some steals, I think. Got pinstripe pants from Reggie Jackson. The Hank Aaron is the one that I got from him, actually, last time he was here. And then we have I did the rookie buying. I went and bought the Jacksonville Jaguars rookies up already. As you know, I've covered the team for this being my 10th year. So I went and got some of those rookie autograph cards. While they're low at the moment, because if these guys spark and they make it happen, the Ronnie Harrisons and the DJ Charks of the world, as well as the Taven Bryan. And that's the thing about Taven Bryan, and we're going to talk about that too, is that defensive linemen, defensive players in general, not worth that much, which I find very funny. You know, these are some of the best guys. I mean, you look at LT, you look at Bruce Smith, John Randall. So many guys that did so many great things, and even guys recently here, Malik Jackson, who won a Super Bowl. I mean, you look at the line of the Jaguars to get an autograph from Malik Jackson or Calais Campbell, any of those guys, to see what they've done and what they brought up to this point. But it's funny. I mean, a Jalen Ramsey rookie card you could get for like $2 if you go and talk to somebody. So, it's just interesting that the defensive players who help you win championships and the defensive players who come out of, highly touted time in college and big college names, these are people that are somewhat forgotten when it comes to the sports card world. So we're going to discuss a lot of different things in the sports card world, which will include defensive players not getting respect, the high hype and demand of the quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, why Lamar Jackson has no signature cards out there right now with Panini, and which has made his rookie card, as a result, to just a regular rookie card jump up in price. If you get a refractor, people are selling them on eBay for $30 because normally maybe it'd be $2, $4, $5, but there's no autographs. So Lamar Jackson will discuss that, and we'll also discuss some Major League Baseball stuff because there's a one-of-one card that is going to be here today that I think that if John can't part with the card, I may pitch to John that he lives in one of the rooms of my house, because if he's here, then the card can be here. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll talk about so much more in just a little bit. So thanks for hanging with us on a Friday, TGIF, and May the 4th be with you, folks. Get your tickets, CNYPopFestival.com. Very inexpensive tickets to an amazing show that's never been done before with sports and entertainment. And Mark Dodson from Star Wars is going to be there. So the voice of Salacious Crumb and so many other characters will be hanging out with us. He's a great guy, and I'm looking forward to having all the guests there, including the man that's repping Star Wars, as we discuss it today. It is time, though, first and foremost, for something that I went off on, then I took a break, then I went off on it again, then I took a break, and then my wife had to hear about it yesterday. The annoying moment of the week is right now.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so. The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like. If you see Jay Cartini, the owner and operator of Carvel DeWitt, wish him a happy belated birthday. His birthday was yesterday. I was going to get him an ice cream cake from Carvel, but I thought that might be redundant for him. I didn't know what to do. I was like, if I buy this, how does this work out? Are we in an infinite loop? If the man that owns Carvel DeWitt gets a Carvel cake, how does life continue after that? And then I got the time stone from Thanos, and I was trying to figure it out, but I'm still trying to get there, so bear with me, Jay. But if you see the man, wish him a happy birthday. The annoying moment of the week, this is where I get to go off, and it's the longest standing segment on the show for Wake Up Call, and Carvel's been with it pretty much since day zero. So I want to thank Carvel DeWitt for that. And it's very simple for me what the annoying moment of the week is this week. I have a phone, as many of us do, and I was never an iPhone user. I was always smartphones. I always, I had the LGs, the flip phone LGs that looked like little spaceships when the lights would come on and dance and whatnot. Then I moved from that to an HTC Incredible, which was incredible until the battery died numerous times, and then there was a system software failure. They told me I couldn't break the glass on my phone, and I couldn't get my phone to let me answer it when I was a guest on a radio show, and so I pushed my thumb on it and broke the glass, and I realized one of two things. Either I was being lied to by Verizon, or I'm the Hulk. And there's a really good chance the latter is true. But, it's just one of those things where phones are I understand. A phone is not going to, it's not perfect, okay? It's not an exact science because we're human beings and we can't create perfect things because we ourselves are not perfect. With that being said, and thank you, Cordell Hudson, for putting thank God for life today so I tame myself down as I get angry. But when I look at my iPhone 6, I don't think it's a 6, it's a 6. But I got an iPhone 6, which is not that old. But then they came out with 7, 8, skip 9, went to 10 in about 3 milliseconds. And there came out this alleged news that everybody, that Apple wanted you to buy a new phone. So what they do is they systematically, through their software, and don't ask me how this is humanly possible. This is like some Minority Report. This is some 007, some Mission Impossible stuff. But they can now, and I don't take it out of the realm of possibility, because the longer I'm alive, the longer I feel like I realize nothing is impossible, and that's because I have met some pretty outstanding people and some pretty insane people at the same time. So the outstanding people are like, wow, anything is possible. The crazy people think that they can ride on a hot dog to outer space and talk to aliens, and though that's okay, but it's not, nothing's out of the realm of possibility, including riding hot dogs. So I have an iPhone, okay? And this is not to blow up anybody's spot. This is just to tell the truth. I could have made a joke there. I could have been like, it's not to blow up your spot because we're not talking about Samsung. But I'm kidding. It's a joke. So, anywho, I have an iPhone 6. And this news came out that Apple was somehow, through their software updates, telling your battery to die or affecting your phone because they wanted you to buy a new phone. Now, I've always known, like growing up with computers and stuff, right? You have a plug for your computer, which is for its battery. Then you have another, and then the software on your computer is separate from its battery. If your battery's not charged, you can't turn on your computer, but the software is always there. Well, with Apple, somehow they can tell their software, hey, kill that battery, or tell the phone the battery's dead. Because my phone, I was at a movie yesterday. I went to go see Avengers Infinity War for the second time. Shout out. I learned a lot of things and I took notes. And I'm still very sad about the parts that made me very sad. But I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. I'm just telling you that there are moments that made a grown man want to tear up a little bit here from my childhood, people that I love and appreciate in the world of Marvel. So we went to go see a movie. I didn't use my phone, right? I'm not on my phone during the movie like a jerk. And my battery was at about 50%. And this is not the first time my battery's been doing this lately. So I look at my phone, I turn my phone on, and I sell some stuff on eBay. I have some fun with that. So I'm checking eBay, and I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden, my battery takes a chunk out. And then I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of looking at my phone, and I see it take another chunk out. And this is within moments. And then it takes another piece out. And so I turn on the battery percentage meter so I can watch it. And it had gone down to 26. And then it went from 26 to 23 in about a minute and a half. I put my phone down, shut the light off on the phone so you can't see the screen. And I looked at it again. It was down to 15. Then I put it on the car charger. And it went up to almost 70% within about 20 minutes. So when this has happened to me before, what is essentially happening is the phone is being told it's dying, and then when you put it on the charger, instead of taking an hour to charge, it takes 15 minutes. And I don't have an express charger that I know of, so the phone literally thinks, hey, I'm at 15. And then 15 minutes later, it's at 70. And then if I use a few things and whatnot, it's at 30. And then I put it on the charger for 20 minutes, and it's at 80. And you'll watch it just rise up really, really fast and then die. And if it's really going to 100%, it shouldn't be dying as fast as it is. Well, Apple allegedly came out and said, hey, our bad, we made a mistake, screwed up your batteries. Here's the really cool thing about it. We screwed your phone. We messed up your battery. God forbid you have an emergency or something. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to discount our batteries and only charge you $29 to fix the repair that we did. Now, as a business owner, if I screw something up, I don't charge you for it. All right, if I mess something up, I'm not going to charge you for it. And I can't really pinpoint and be like, oh, well, I didn't do this and I didn't care about this. It would be like me working with, let's come up with somebody here. It would be like me essentially working with, let's see, Napa Auto Parts, right? And I, instead of saying Napa Auto Parts, I say AutoZone for a month and a half. And then Napa goes, what the hell? It's our competitor. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't say AutoZone. And they're like, yeah, you did. And I was like, okay, well, listen, you're paying $1,000 a month for me to say Napa. In order for me to fix this problem, I'll just charge you $1,500 next month because I goofed. So give me an extra $500 for me to rebroadcast the thing that I messed up and promoted your competitor for. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just give me extra money. It'll be okay. So we've already given a lot to Verizon, to Apple. And I used to be able, when the phone wasn't working, you go into Verizon where you bought the phone, and they would help you. I went into Verizon, which is down the road from me, and they said, oh, you got to go to the Apple store, and you got to make an appointment, and you got to hope it's not busy. And then I got to Apple, and they're like, oh, it only takes an hour and a half to restore your battery. Any other phone that I had besides an Apple iPhone, in order to change my battery, they opened up my phone, took the battery out, and then put a new battery in and handed me my phone. Well, this is supposed to take an hour and a half. And I'm really hoping that it doesn't, because Apple, for some reason, believes people don't have lives. And as a business owner, a sportscaster, and a writer, things can happen at any time for me. And I'm constantly working on the CNY Pop Festival and a lot of other things. So I am not a non-busy man. I also have a family and people that I care about. So for me to be like, you know what? We goofed. We're sorry. Just give us like $30 because they're probably going to tax the $29 because you know that they're gonna. They're not going to charge you for something they shouldn't and then not tax what they shouldn't. So, and then take an hour and a half of my day. So maybe I'll go get some sushi. Maybe I'll go hang out today and get some Kodo sushi. I don't know. But it's one of those things where it's the annoying moment of the week because a lot of us have gone through this. And it's a complete hassle. Apple, in an effort to get you to spend more money with them, is allegedly destroying your phone, destroying your battery life, making it run slower, then apologizing, asking for more money, taking up an hour and a half to 2 hours of your life, and then handing you back a phone that, dare I say, you updated again. I mean, all I've learned from this is don't update your phone. Because I did the update that apparently destroyed my battery life, and then they sent 4 or 5 updates after that, and I used them all, and my battery sucks on my phone. It's awful. And people say, well, Dan, you got a lot of apps, this and that. I delete a ton of stuff. I don't keep a ton of stuff on my phone. And that's the thing is, I constantly am deleting this, taking this off, moving this, taking this off, deleting this, taking that off. My wife doesn't do that, and her phone runs all day long. Well, she's got an iPhone 8 or 7, whatever it may be. So, Apple, fix it. Okay? And do the right thing. And stop making people have to deal with this issue. And the thing is, it's a public issue. I'm not putting them on blast. It's out there that the Apple battery life is dying on phones. But, you know, I'm this crazy person that thinks about what if, you know, if I'm Apple, right, and I use software updates to, instead of help your phone, which an update's supposed to do, I'm sending information to your phone to screw it up or screw up the battery and affect you. If I'm doing that to you, what if you're a woman in labor and you can't get a hold of your husband? What if you're walking in an alleyway and somebody's following you and you can't call the cops? That's what I think about. I think about that stuff. In an effort to make more money, you could be putting people in danger, preventing people from calling their family in a crisis. You know, what if I'm trying to get an Uber, and this has happened before, where my battery's at, 70%, and I try to get an Uber to go to one of the games that I have to cover, and my phone almost dies before the Uber gets there. That's not healthy. That's not safe, because the driver can't get a hold of me. I'm stranded there. I've paid for this, and God only knows when I can plug my phone into something again and waste more of my life plugged into a wall of some supermarket sitting on the floor. This is not the apocalypse. This is not the Walking Dead. Make the batteries work and stop screwing people over. Because if you continue to do it, we will continue to talk about it. And I have no problem being a voice of the people because I slid on a mountain one time and my phone died. And I went into the store and said, in a moment, and I had had my phone plugged in all day. And it died when I left where I was working. And I said, in that moment, in a crisis where I needed help, where I needed to make sure I was okay, I had nobody to call, and I didn't know what to do. And to spend that amount of time like that alone, thank God my car was a CRV, from Honda that could get out of these situations. Thank God that I could keep my composure in the situation. And thank God nobody else was involved in the situation, and my car didn't get stuck in the situation. And my car didn't get damaged in the situation. But that's all God. Humanity, they failed that day. And I do. I think about everybody else. I think about you. I think about your kids. Your kid goes off to college. You're calling them to ask you how things are going on. And here we are. Maybe their phone works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe they can call home. Maybe they can't. So the annoying moment of the week goes to this mistake. And let's call it a mistake and not a purposeful act to screw people over to demand more money. Apple, I don't think you need anybody's help to get more money. Be generous, be kind, and do the right thing. It always comes back if you do the right thing. Unfortunately, it always comes back if you don't. We'll be right back. Speaking of coming back, with Harold Landry live here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, 41st overall and second round pick for the Tennessee Titans out of Boston College. Harold Landry joins us in just a moment.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or ice milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Clothing that will change with you without you having to change. DreissiglLady.com, DREISSIG Lady.com. With the Bamboo line Relaxed Fit clothing as well as the Athletic Fit clothing, DreissiglLady.com is fit for any woman, any time of the day, anywhere. Whatever you're doing, whatever your day commands of you, command yourself to feel comfortable in Dreissig Lady Apparel. DREISSIG Lady.com. For all the women out there, feel good in what you're wearing. And don't feel like you have to constantly change throughout the day. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, going for a jog, going for a meeting, or just relaxing at home, DreisigLady.com is the right fit for you. DREISSIG Lady.com.
This is Lawrence Papaleo, licensed real estate salesperson for Gilbo Realty. Call our home office at 315-752-9513, or better yet, call or text me directly at 315-748-2524.
Let me ask you a question, Lawrence. If I needed you to help me buy a house, find the right place, could you help me do that?
Joe, I'll help you find your dream home.
You don't ever say my name on the radio, never. If I needed to sell a house, could you help me go about that the right way?
Yes, I can.
How do they get a hold of you?
Call me directly at 315-748-2524.
But you also do the commercial property. So if I got a business, couple businesses, got to take one here, move it over there, do this, do that, are you going to help me buy and sell my commercial property also?
Yes, sir.
I like that. What's my name again?
I have no idea.
Absolutely, but they need to know your name, so give it one more time.
This is Lawrence Papaleo, licensed real estate salesperson for Gilbo Realty. My phone number is 315-748-2524.
Why don't you tell them your name one more time and that number so we can jot it down?
This is Lawrence Papaleo. Call me or text me directly at 315-748-2524.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be on your airwaves, however you're listening, wherever you're listening. We appreciate you being a part of the show Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This part of the show is called Significant Soundbites, where we pick someone special inside of the sports community every single week to spotlight. And with this week, it means a lot to me. Him and I spoke when he was going through his recruitment, getting recruited by teams in the Northeast as well as around the country. Ended up going to Boston College. And it's hard to believe that that was 5 years ago, and now he is past Boston College, spent 4 years playing there, played as a true freshman, and is now heading off into the NFL to play for the Tennessee Titans, drafted 41st overall, second-round draft pick, and a man that I've respected from day zero. And, you know, when you see these names come across the ticker, you're happy for that. So with that being said, Harold Landry's on the broadcast. Harold, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And let's go back to those high school days. I mean, how quickly did Boston College fly by, or for you, did it slow down a little bit?
No, I mean, looking back, I feel like it definitely flew by. But when I was there, it was such a great time. So, I mean, that's probably why it flew by. But, no, I mean, they were the first to offer me. They were loyal. I built such a strong relationship with the coaching staff that was there. It was like no other with any other school that I had visited. So, you know, I stayed committed. Ended up being the best decision for me. It's worked out best.
When you look at that, just like you said, they were the first to offer you, and they stayed with you on that. How much does that value for you to speak on that? Because I talk with kids being recruited all the time that are, 15, 16, 17 years old, that have schools that are the first one to come to them, and sometimes they have a dream school, sometimes they don't, but the first one, people always tend to say means something, but sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. For you, when Boston College said, hey, you know what, you're good enough to play here, just bring me into that moment and how that really had a lot of value for you.
Yeah, I think that meant the most to me because at the time, my junior year, a lot of schools were trying to say that I guess that I was undersized. They didn't know to play me at linebacker or DN, but BC just said, the hell with it, you're a ball player, you can play, so they offered me. And, I had a tremendous amount of respect for the coaching staff when they made that decision. And then it was just up to me to stay loyal and stay committed. About a month later, I started picking up offers from schools like Ohio State, Miami, Tennessee, and Alabama. But those schools needed to see another big-time school offer me before they did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go out on a limb and have faith in me as a ball player, and BC did. So I stayed loyal, stayed committed, went there, and it all worked out.
Speaking here with Harold Landry, outside linebacker coming from Boston College, drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Like you said, BC didn't need to see anything. Some people thought you were undersized. When you started getting those offers after they saw Boston College say, you know what, he's good enough to play here, what did it mean to you? I mean, obviously it's important for you to get those offers and get the exposure and get those opportunities, but at the same time, when, like you said, they needed to see somebody else do it, how did you respond to that? Did anybody ever have your ear, or did you almost have a chip on your shoulder when that happened?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a chip on my shoulder heading into my senior year, but I mean, yeah, it was nice to keep getting different offers every week. It was a cool experience, and even going to visit those schools just to see what they were like, it was pretty cool. But I always knew deep down I was going to end up at BC. So, I mean, I definitely had a chip on my shoulder heading into my senior year. And, I mean, that made me ball out even more. So, I mean, it just made my name more well-known. And then going into college, it paid dividends.
And as you went into Boston College, you had Steve Adazio as your head coach. Just what can you take away from Coach Adazio and just how he coached? And he's a fiery guy. I always say when I'm in a room with him, he makes anybody want to go play football for him because of his attitude and because of just his nature and his passion for the game, his passion for the young adults on the team. What can you say about your relationship with your head coach at Boston College?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can definitely, be a fire coach and he can definitely get you going. Playing for him is definitely more so taught me how to be a man versus being a football player. Definitely it's kind of like an old school style program there. Your blue collar, bring your lunch pail to work type of deal. But it definitely helped me out in the long run. It's a big team first program, which it should be. But no, it was a great opportunity and a great experience playing for him. He taught me a lot in my time there, which will definitely help me out in my career as an NFL player.
What are some of the biggest things that Coach Adazio taught you while you were at Boston College?
Just to handle your business every single day. Show up the same guy every day. Don't be up and down. You know what I'm saying? Just be a consistent player. When things are going your way, don't complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Just show up every day, go to work, and everything will fall into place. And also loyalty and putting the guy next to you ahead of you. Just stuff like that.
And when you look at the time at Boston College, I mean, you had an opportunity to play in bowl games, an opportunity to move forward. The ACC is not an easy conference by any stretch of the imagination. Arguably, the toughest conference to play in college football is when you look at Division I-A. How do you see it? I mean, what can you say about your time at BC up against the talent of the ACC? How well did the ACC offensive talent prepare you for the NFL, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think the ACC is the best conference in America. It's improving every single year, I feel like. But, yeah, the competition is definitely one of the best. And, going up against the best competition obviously will prepare me for the NFL because in the NFL, every single tackle is going to be good. It's not like you're going to go up against a slap one day and then a All-American the next. So, the ACC has a ton of competition, a ton of really, really good players, and I'm grateful that I was able to play in this conference, and definitely will pay off in the NFL.
Speaking here with Harold Landry, outside linebacker, coming from BC and heading to the Tennessee Titans, who were some of the guys that you enjoyed going up against, some of the guys that you got past, some that weren't able to maybe handle you, so to speak? What can you say about memories on the field? Because I know that, each guy has some of those moments that always kind of stick top of mind. Which ones are those for you?
I would say probably my best moments playing would probably be against Florida State or Clemson or even Louisville, to be honest. Just playing against those teams, the best teams at the top of our division, and that are well known nationally. Big time players make big time plays and big time moments, and those are the type of games where you leave your mark and you get your name out there. And being able to play at Florida State Friday night, or being able to play Florida State at our home place Friday night, those have been some of the best experiences of my life. Those game day atmospheres are just amazing. I love playing in those moments against the top competition. It's just really fun to be able to go up against the best players in the country and then win. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best part about it, going up against the best competition and winning.
I know that you, as an outside linebacker, got to go up against quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson when he was at Clemson, and now he's inside of your division. Just to go to that, there's irony when it comes to the world of sports. Irony and sports go hand in hand. The non-coincidental coincidence, whatever you want to call it, I call it a God incident. I don't think anything is by mistake, but you had Deshaun Watson in the Atlantic Division. You went up against him when he was at Clemson. You're at BC, and now you're inside of the AFC South. You're a Titan. He's a Texan. You play each other at least twice a year. Just your thoughts on that irony and seeing him again.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. Kind of funny, but we get to play the Texans, get to play him. It'll be a cool experience. I thought he was the best quarterback coming out in his draft class, and it showed. I can't wait to be able to go up against him again. Hopefully, get a couple sacks on him.
And then as far as one of the other guys you went up against, you mentioned Louisville, Lamar Jackson. As a defensive player, just what you could say about his game and the difficulty of taking him down or really understanding where he's going to be and what he's going to do. This is a guy who's fast. He makes a lot of good decisions. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. What can you say about being on the other side of him? Because some people said, he should have switched positions. He shouldn't be a quarterback. Baltimore obviously thinks differently. What do you think about Lamar Jackson?
Everybody in this QB draft class. I feel like going like nuts over all the other quarterbacks, but in my opinion, he was the best quarterback out of all of them. He's the best player I've ever gone against, and if he's healthy, I think he's the best offensive rookie in the NFL. But yeah, he was the best player I've ever gone against. I have a lot of respect for him. Look forward to see what he can do in the NFL. I think he'll be very successful, to be honest. He was the best player I've ever gone against.
Speaking here with Harold Landry, outside linebacker coming from Boston College and heading to the Titans. You say Lamar Jackson, best player that you've ever gone up against. Why? What makes you say that? I mean, you've gone up against some very talented offensive players, especially just inside the ACC alone. Why is Lamar Jackson get that accolade from you that he was the toughest guy that you've ever gone up against?
Because, most games you just got to beat the offensive tackle and then bring the quarterback down. But going up against him, the hardest part wasn't beating the tackle, it was getting him on the ground. The dude I think he's probably better than Michael Vick coming out of college. He's just that dangerous. He's slippery, he's powerful, he's got great balance, and he can actually throw the ball. He can throw the ball. I don't know what people be saying, but he could definitely sling the rock. He's just a really good player.
And to look at the team that you're going on to, the Tennessee Titans, just, if you've made any connection with any of the guys there, if you know any of the guys there up to this point, I know you've spoken on, going up against Taylor in practice, the left tackle, and getting around him, but just what you could say about your connection to Tennessee thus far. I know the draft was only a week ago, but how connected you are, or if there's anybody on the team that you've already built a relationship with at this point.
Besides Taylor Warren and Rashawn Evans coming in, I don't really know any other teammates yet. I fly in there on Thursday, this week coming up, get things rolling, get to meet everybody, and go to work.
And to have this opportunity for you, and like you just said, Rashawn Evans coming in as well, coming from Alabama, what are you excited about to work with him in the linebacker group with the Tennessee Titans? You're on the outside, he's on the inside. What do you like about Rashawn Evans, and what are you excited about knowing that you guys are coming in at the same time, trying to take this defense and turn it into something that can be a threat to the rest of the AFC South as well as the country as a whole?
Yes, there's only four people in our draft class, and me and Rashawn in the linebacker corps. I think that we're going to become extremely close throughout camp, throughout OTAs and everything. I really look forward to, getting in the playbook with them, hitting the field with them, and just learning together and being able to help this defense as much as we can to be able to, help Tennessee get back to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. I think that'd be awesome. I think it would be awesome for Nashville and the state of Tennessee.
So they take you 41st overall, the Tennessee Titans. They take you in the second round. They trade up to do that. I had you going in the first round. I thought, top 20 in the first round, that it was reasonable to say that. Bring me into the draft. Bring me into, kind of how you handled it, how you felt about not going in the first round and going in the second, if it mattered to you, if it affected you at all, if it put a chip on your shoulder, just how you took that. Because in my opinion, you went into this draft as one of the top linebackers, and I thought your name would be called in the top 32, and it was called relatively close to that, but just how you handled the situation.
It definitely hurt not to go in round one, because, I worked my whole life for it. Before this whole draft process even started, I knew I wanted to go play for Tennessee. I thought it would be in the first round, but as long as I ended up there, that's all that mattered. I wanted to play football for Coach Rabel, John Robson, their whole organization. I had the best visit up there when I went to go visit them in the pre-draft process, and I knew I wanted to go play there. I'm just grateful that they were able to trade up and take me on the top of the second. Whether it's the first or the second round, I'm where I want to be. So, I get to raise my family there, I get to play football there, and get paid at the same time. So, my life's great right now.
What was it about when you said Tennessee, whether it was the first round or the second round, that's where you wanted to be, you wanted to play there? And what was it about Tennessee that made it so special for you in the draft process, and just why the Titans as soon as they took you, like you said, you're like, that's where I want to be. I'm going to raise my family, make some money doing what I love. Why Tennessee? Why is that so special?
Just everybody in the building. It was just such a cool experience. I feel like it's rare to go into an organization where the coaches and the front office people, they all care about the players, and they all want to do what's best for the players because they know it's a player's game. And, like, the coaches can do all they can do, but at the end of the day, the players got to go on the field and perform, and they get that. So everything they do is driven to make sure the players can perform as best as possible and that are well taken care of. And I just thought that was an amazing I thought it was just an extraordinary place when I visited there. Coach Vrabel, all the coaches were awesome. They're all like Coach Vrabel played in the NFL for a long time. So when he talks, he knows what he's talking about. He lived it. And the majority of the coaches there, they all lived it, and they know what we're going through. So, I mean, not only they walk the walk, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have the experience, and I just think it's a perfect opportunity for me to go in and learn and reach my top potential there.
Before I let you go, speaking here with Harold Landry, outside linebacker coming from Boston College and moving on to the Tennessee Titans, drafted 41st overall in this year's draft in the early part of the second round. Harold, Paul Pasqualoni, you had him on the staff. I mean, obviously, as a defensive player, he's a defensive mind. The irony for him is that he used to be the head coach of Steve Adazio at Syracuse, and then that flipped, and Paul came to BC. Now you're in the NFL, and so is Paul. Paul's over with the Detroit Lions. What can you say about Coach Pasqualoni and your time with him?
Yeah, he definitely elevated my game to a really high level. When he came in, I would say that I was talented, but raw. And when he came in, he just refined me, I think. He took my game to a whole nother level and taught me so much about football, and it showed on the field. When I went to visit Detroit in the pre-draft process, it was just so it was just like what I had to do there was just like so like Coach P and it was just funny. But no, he's definitely gonna have Detroit's defense looking good. But no, he definitely played a big role in my development as a football player. Thankful to be able to have him in my football career to help me get me to where I am now.
When you said going to visit the Detroit Lions was so Coach P, go a little bit deeper into that. What was so Coach P about it?
Because I had they took me through a part of some of their installs, taught me a part of their installs, and I had to go out on the field and walk through it, call checks, and just see how fast I could learn their defense. But I mean, for me, it wasn't easy, but it was okay because he was using some of the terminology that we used at BC. But I mean, that was the first time I had to do that, visiting a team. But I mean, it was definitely cool. Coach P, he's all ball. He loves football so much. Football plays a big part of his life, and you can just see it in him, which I think is so awesome. That's why I loved playing with him. He was at the facility more than anybody else I've ever seen be at a facility. He works hard at what he do, and I respect him for that.
That coming from Harold Landry. Harold, to wrap up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as you head to the Tennessee Titans, like you said, this coming week, I like to do a thing called Rapid Fire on the show, which gives an opportunity for me to ask you a bunch of questions that have little to nothing to do with football, but to help the fans get to know you, the Titans fans, people at Tennessee, as well as people around the country. I've respected you and your game since you were a high school player, but to see as you move forward here and people that want to connect with you and get to know who Harold Landry is, I'd love to throw you in this for a couple minutes. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
All right. If you could only play one song coming out for the Tennessee Titans onto the field for yourself for the next year, what song would it be?
John, Lil Wayne.
If anybody could play you in a movie what actor would you want to be you?
Will Smith or Denzel.
All right, why Will and why Denzel? I gotta ask.
Because those are like my two favorite actors. I think they're like the best all time. They can play any role and excel at it. Will Smith is smooth, Denzel is smooth, and they just really awesome actors.
Well, so they're smooth. Is Harold Landry smooth? I guess is the question.
I can be. If I'm asked to. But, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. If I was to name a movie after your life that starred Will Smith or Denzel, what would the movie be called?
Shoot. Pursuit of Happiness? Or, let me think of the Denzel one. Yeah, I would say Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. All right, fair enough. This is a 3-part question. It's a vacation question. If you could go anywhere in the world, where do you go? You could take one person that you know, and you could take one celebrity. Where do you go? Who's the person that you take that you know, and what celebrity?
I would take my fiance, and I would take as a celebrity probably Angelina Jolie.
All right, where would you go?
Probably where I'm getting married in Barbados.
Now, how did you work that out? How did Barbados happen? That's awesome.
It's just a place that I've always wanted to go to.
All right.
And my fiance's always wanted to go there, so we figured why not.
Yeah, and it's fine. I mean, I know you've been busy with the draft and everything, but I guess, maybe I gotta, resend the new address, because if you're getting married in Barbados, I think it's only fair that the man that's covered you for 5 years should maybe have a trip to Barbados. I don't know. I don't know if that's available for me, Harold.
It's a small get together. The only people on my side that are coming is my mom, dad, and sister, because it's like not even like just our wedding. It's gonna be like our honeymoon, because when football starts, and I don't really have time to do that other stuff. So
that's fair. You get married in Barbados. It's cool. It's all good. I appreciate it. I'm happy that you're going there and doing that. So, like I said, you ever want to send a ticket to Barbados, we'll make it happen. But outside of that, all jokes aside, Harold, a couple more for you here. If there was a quote that was above your head everywhere you went, everybody could see it, what would the quote say?
Probably nobody cares how hard you work. It's about results.
Okay. All right. That coming from Harold Landry. And my final one for you, give me 3 things that are on your bucket list that you haven't done yet.
So teach my son how to play football. Win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm excited to get my first sack in NFL too.
All right, fair enough. Now, with that being said, to wrap things up here, Harold, I'm going to be fair to you. I put you on the hot seat. I'm going to let you put me on for 3 questions. So you have been asked questions for years now. You've had people interview you for years, and so I'm going to let you flip the script and give you an opportunity to be the interviewer. So go ahead. Any 3 questions you want to ask me, what's the first one?
Okay. Let me think. Wait, this doesn't count as a question though.
Okay. Okay. All right. So he's trying to get 4. What do you got?
Wait, are you married?
I am married. Yes.
I can't ask the question then. Okay, so let me think. All right, if you had to go, if you could go on a date with any celebrity, who would it be? If you weren't married.
If I wasn't married. The funny thing is my wife would say this. She's like, just say it, whatever. So there's 2. There's 2. And I grew up with a Tyra Banks poster in my room. So Tyra Banks would be one of them. And if not Tyra, then probably Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, okay, I feel that. Okay. Let me think. If you could go do anything in the world, what would it be?
If I could go do anything in the world, what would it be? I would want to... Honestly, there's a few things. I mean, they would be big-time things, as far as, movements, not just doing one thing. I would like to go to visit as many underprivileged areas that I could. I got to do some work with New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, or after Hurricane Katrina, and we went there 8 months after in Project Helping Hands and helped some families to, get everything out of their house, see what we could salvage so that they could come in and rebuild it. So, doing things like that. I would go to Peru and Guatemala. It's where two of my cousins, who I consider my little brothers, that's where they came from, and they came from not easy times in those countries. So I would love to help there and do something there. And I've always said, if you got to send me to Pluto to do it, send me to Pluto. I would love to find a cure for all types of cancer. I'm at my wit's end of hearing people that have cancer and that have gone through it and whatnot, and it breaks my heart. So if I could do anything in the world, I'd want to find cures, and I'd want to help people to have the happiness and the opportunity that I've had here in America.
That's awesome.
What's your final question, my good sir?
If you had one wish. Hold on, let me think for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. If you had one wish.
Okay.
No, hold on, let me think.
Okay.
If you had one wish.
Yeah.
And you had to choose between these two though.
Okay.
Let me think. So since you said that I can't sack Blake Bortles, what does that mean? You're a Jacksonville fan?
I've covered the Jaguars for the last decade, and I had the opportunity of potentially covering the Super Bowl if 4 points didn't go one way. So yeah. So it's a little bit tough, but yeah, I've been around Jacksonville for pretty much since their institution and covered the team on site for the last almost 10 years now.
Okay, so you had to choose one. What would it be? Jacksonville win the Super Bowl, or Harold Landry comes in and starts, and the Tennessee Titans win the Super Bowl? Who are you choosing?
Damn, man, don't do that. That's tough. Here's my thing, and this is tough. So Jacksonville getting to and winning the Super Bowl would be pretty amazing and pretty wonderful, and I don't think they're far off from it right now. And I think that they got a shot. But I'm going to say this, and when I say this, Harold, I don't ever want you to forget this, and I want you to remember that when you get big and bad and you might lead the country in sacks, and I text you and say I want to do an interview, don't you forget about me and get a big head over there, because I'm going to tell you something right now. So what I'm going to say to you is you should know this from me reaching out to you after 5 years of, because when you're in college, obviously you have your, it's a different system that's set up, and you can't just call a player, and you got to do press conferences and yada yada. But when you're in high school, it's easy. When you're a professional, it's easy because you can say yes or no if you want to do an interview. I appreciated the fact that when I reached out to you after all these years and said, hey, I'd love to have you back on the show, you texted me very simply, I'm down. That was it. And it made me feel like I left an impression. I'd like to think I left a positive one and that you remembered who I was or being on the show, whatever that may be. With that being said, I have a connection with people like yourself that have been on the show and that, I've gotten to know as a human being and watched over the past few years. So if you put my feet to the fire and you involved yourself personally in this, I'd love to see Jacksonville win a Super Bowl. But when you have a connection with players and when you reach out to somebody 5 years after you had them on your show and you say, hey, would you like to come back here and be a part of this broadcast? And they say yes without question, I would love to see you start and win your Super Bowl and right after you do that, before you go to Disney World, to bring your butt on this show, and we'll talk about how I knew you when you were in high school.
I feel you. I appreciate that.
So you better make sure that happens. If I'm telling you right now, Harold, I'm going to text you right before that Super Bowl and be like, Harold, this exclusive everything is going on right here on Wake Up Call. So don't forget about me, brother, as you get better, okay?
I got you. I got you.
All right, man, and I appreciate it as always. And like I said, 5 years ago and 5 years forward, it says a lot about your character. You taking some time to be on the show today, so I want to thank you for that, and I appreciate that. I hope that you have a great wedding in your beautiful paradise, and I hope you have a phenomenal start to the season. I'll be watching, and I hope that first sack comes on week 1. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Keep in touch. Be good.
All right.
See ya. That coming once again from Harold Landry, who just put me in the worst rapid fire I think I have ever been in when it comes to a player. But that's my loyalty to the guys I know and to the ladies that I know in the sport as well. I mean, you want to see everybody do well, but when you do shows with people, you have a connection with people, especially somebody like Harold. Like I said, I mean, I covered him when he was being recruited, and then when you go to college, fans might not know this, but it's a lot more strict of a policy to get interviews with players, and you can't just call them up on the phone and be like, hey, you want to be on the show and whatnot, because they're under the NCAA, and you have to ask the permission of the school and this, that, and the other thing. So, it's tough because I wanted to talk to Harold every week of his career. And so after all this time to say to Harold, hey, man, you were on the show years ago before you went into college and whatnot, and I want to have you back because I've been rooting for you to get in the NFL since the day you went to BC. And, here we stand today, and he texted me I think it was a week ago today, and he said, I'm down. That was it. I said, you want to be on the show? He said, I'm down. And then we made it happen. So somebody like that who can appreciate and respect me and my show and my time and what I do, hell yeah, I want to see you get to the Super Bowl, and I want to see you start, and I want to see you get some sacks, and I want to see you get MVP of the Super Bowl. So, Harold, here's to hoping that you get that opportunity, and I know you're going to work hard toward it. We're going to take a step aside, and we will come back in just a moment with a very awesome part of the show. We're going to be back on video and, of course, on audio. We're going to be keeping you here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and we're also going to be on video on Facebook, so come hang out with us and have a fun time. We're going to be live on Facebook, hanging out with John Newman of Newman Sports Cards. We have so much to discuss. I've had a lot of NFL draft coverage, and we're going to continue with that, with the hype of the rookies, selling now as opposed to selling later, getting things on that you want to get out in your stores and on eBay and whatever it may do and on your websites before there comes a time where maybe some of these guys falter a little bit. So it's kind of like the stock market, very much so. We're going to discuss that, probably easier to figure out than the stock market. But we're gonna discuss that. We're gonna discuss offensive versus defensive players. We're gonna discuss what's going on right now with baseball as well, and Shohei and how it seems to be that his rookie card is the one that everybody wants, and his autograph is the one that everybody wants, and Aaron Judge is kind of just taking a little dip here. And so we'll discuss all that is going on in the sports world and how it affects those wonderful, beautiful pieces of cardboard that many of us like to collect and bring home. So Newman Sports Cards coming up next. We're hanging out on video on Facebook Live, and you're going to keep with us here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. John Newman and I damn near broke the internet in a good way the first time around. We're going to do it again here today, and we look forward. And make sure you send your questions. If you have thoughts, you're watching the video coming up here, send your questions to us. If you're a member of mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, send your thoughts to me there in the live chat room. If you have cards, if you're wondering about something, any questions that you have or comments about the sports card industry, make sure you send them over. We're going to make it happen right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where we do things differently, innovative, exciting, original, and always for every single one of you to have a positive and amazing day. So if you're having a great day, we're going to make it better. If you're having not so great of a day and you have to go to Apple like me this afternoon, we're going to make it better. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Hi, this is Domenico Vitali, owner of Giovanni's Formal Wear, where you look great and feel even better with our renowned tailoring and alteration services on any suit or any tuxedo from anywhere. Call 315-455-8729. That's 315-455-8729. Stop in locally on Route 11 in North Syracuse, next to the Ponderosa Plaza, where you can choose your style, get fitted, and tailored, all at Giovanni's Formal Wear.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
For all of us that have always wanted our favorite restaurant to come to us, it's now a reality in Central New York with It's a Utica Thing, with Utica Pizza Company bringing their wonderful recipes that they've handed down through generations to you, to your event, to your business, to your home. It's a Utica Thing, proudly bringing Utica Pizza Company on wheels to your location. Call 315-738-8946. That's 315-738-8946 to bring Utica Pizza Company to your doorstep with It's a Utica Thing. What's the universal language of a fan? Clapping your hands. With Fan Hands, the ultimate sports fan accessory, find your team color, slip them on, and start cheering on your favorite team with 11 different colors, always in stock on fanhands.com, where you'll find the ultimate sports fan accessory. Real fans wear Fan Hands. Gear up with the real deal at Dry Sig Apparel, creating what people are going to see and learn about you before they even meet you. Gear up for what you need for your team, business, or event. To look professional, look good, and feel good, outfit yourself at DrySigApparel.com. That's DREISSIG Apparel.com. The only place to gear up with the real deal.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. So we are going to add ourselves right now. So let's add Wake Up Call on live video with Newman Sports Cards. So we're going to do that in this moment here. And we are going to go live right now online. So we are live here on Facebook, and we're hanging out with the man that they call John Newman. He's going to be here with us for the broadcast, and we're very excited to have him here on the show. So with that being said, I think it's the hat. I think if we lift your hat up,
here we go.
There we go. Now we see John a little bit. So we are here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and we're also hanging out with you on Facebook Live, and we're going to be doing this live broadcast on audio and on video with John Newman of Newman Sports Cards to speak on the sports card industry and a lot of different things that are going on. And I'm excited to do this, John, because we have been here before. Well, first and foremost, John came prepared. As you see, John is wearing a very nice shirt that you can get for yourselves. We sell these for $10, folks. So they're the Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora official shirts, and they are brought to you by Dreisig Apparel, DREISSIG apparel.com. So make sure you check them out. You can also go see their store on Teal Ave right by Shop City. So, John, we're happy to have you back here again.
Well, I'm glad to be back. Following Harold Landry, that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, Harold Landry, he did a good time, and we had a good time with him. So he did a phenomenal job. So like I said, we're live here on Facebook, and we're also hanging out with you in studios on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. And as John just alluded to, Harold Landry being a part of the show here, second round, 41st overall. I thought he was a first-round draft pick. I think he's going to play like a first-round draft pick, and I'm really excited about everything that's going to come. And even though I didn't get invited to Barbados, and I think I'll be all right.
If you did get invited to Barbados, I was gonna ask if I could sneak into a large suitcase with you.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. So John and I are here to speak on the industry, and for baseball lovers, this is a conversation for you. For football, it's a conversation. For sports card collectors, this is a conversation as well. So we had an amazing time last time we were in studio on video and audio, and we're going to make it happen again. So John Newman of Newman Sports Cards, myself, Dan Tortora of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I got a bunch of cards that I got, but I'm gonna ask John about this one first because this one meant a lot to me, and it's a piece of a game-used bat by Hank Aaron. So a piece of a game-used bat by Hank Aaron. It is numbered. There are 200 in the world. This is number 75. It's no specific game that he used the bat in, but it's with the Atlanta Braves, and it is a piece of a game-used bat. Now, I got this. I mean, what I paid for this, I thought it was a phenomenal deal. What can you say about these? Because I feel like the game-used bat ones, I feel like they're not that expensive if you go after them.
Well, first off, that's a great card, and I venture a guess with a guy like Hank Aaron, that bat probably hit at least one home run. I think it's probably a safe bet, so that's pretty cool. I don't want to say the problem with bat cards because it's not a problem, but when given a choice between a jersey and a bat, I think most people rather have the jersey.
Yeah.
But it's still game used. It's still a piece of history that's here in the studio, and regardless of jersey or bat,
awesome.
It's to me it's indifferent, So
yeah,
I actually have one of the cards I brought today has a Hank Aaron bat on it too, along with 9 other things. So,
with 9 other things. So I'm really ecstatic about this, and then John comes in.
I'm a topper.
He 8-ups me on this one. Now let me ask you about this because my uncle gave me this. It was the same uncle that gave me my Nolan Ryan autograph card that was numbered and written on the back, and so this is a gold collection. I believe that I have all of them or most of them, but this is Babe Ruth, and I don't know anything about this card except for my uncle gave it to me, and I haven't touched it since he gave it to me, and I don't think I can touch it because it's in this case. It's not like you in one of the one of these where you could just kind of just pull it right out the top. I can't do anything with this. So this is a gold card by Babe Ruth. What can you say about this series? Because Hank Aaron, weren't they all in it?
There's a lot of companies that made gold cards.
Yeah, this is, if I can read it, CMG Worldwide in Indianapolis. It says TM, and yeah, there's no like tops or anything on here. Major League Baseball logo and his record from all of his years.
Yeah, it's licensed because it does have the Yankee logo, so they do have permission to make it. And I'm sure it's probably a gold foil, meaning it may be real, gold on the outside.
Yeah,
which gives it some value. The fact that it's Babe Ruth, someone so legendary, so it was highly collectible.
Okay, so yeah,
I don't know much about it individually, but I could probably definitely find out a little more information for you.
So we got the Babe and Hank in studio together, folks. Look at that, a happy marriage that doesn't include Barry Bonds. So. And the last time, and we got to say something about Newman Sports Cards because John obviously made a sale here, and that sale came from this right here. The last time he was on the broadcast on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and here on Facebook Live with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Make sure you like the page for Wake Up Call and for Newman Sports Cards that's tagged in this video. You showed this Hank Aaron card. And then as soon as the broadcast was over, I said, during the broadcast, I said, this is not leaving the studio without being in my hands. And it didn't. So I made a purchase from John with this Hank Aaron card, which I love very much. So that Hank Aaron card's been kind of just hanging out in this area.
Yeah, not a bad one to be hanging out.
So you brought some cool stuff here today.
Yeah.
What do you want to show for it? Now, one of the things you got on top, I have one of those. So... The Saquon.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go into these first.
Let's go baseball. We've been talking baseball. I want to do a bit of baseball.
All right. This one is... I don't have what... there's a term in the hobby called PC, which is short for personal collection.
Right.
When I was younger, as I told Dan off the air, when I was in business, I would have too many PC cards, and people would want them, and then I would kind of refuse to sell them. And then as I got older, I made a point to not do that anymore. And so I don't really have a PC like I used to back in my younger days. This card I just acquired last week. It actually came to my house when I was
Why don't you tell the story?
Yeah, so this a pricier card that I purchased. And frankly, I purchased this card with really no intent to resell it. And I timed it wrong, and it was going to be delivered a day after I went to Myrtle Beach on vacation for the week. And it had to be signed for. And if you miss that, if you're familiar with how the post office works, if you miss it, it goes back to them, and it sits there until you can get back there with your slip and sign it out. So luckily I had my sister agree to I gave her my house key, and she was going to agree to come over and sign for it so we didn't miss the delivery. But she had a hair appointment that morning. But she figured she'd get there before the mailman did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the hair appointment ran a little longer than she anticipated, and the mailman, she missed him.
Yeah.
He left the notice in the mailbox. She got there, grabbed the notice out, and literally got in her car and rode up the street to see if she could track him down. She saw a mail truck that she assumed was ours.
Yeah.
And probably thought she was a crazy lady. Went up to him and said, I have a slip. Can I get this? This is, a package for my brother that's important.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't our mail truck, so he radioed our actual mail truck. And she had to go a couple blocks a different direction, tracked him down, and he was nice enough to let her sign for it, and so the package was procured. So this card has a little bit of a funny story to how it got to my house.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it is this card. It's not just a card. This is something that you insure like it's like maybe it's one of your children potentially. So you had waited to get this. You went through all of this, and John is out of town. The last video that we did, he left here. He went down to Myrtle Beach that day. So you leave on a Friday, it gets there on a Saturday,
yep.
and you're fighting. And thank goodness that not only your sister got the slip, but she found a mailman, and that he was nice enough to radio the other one.
Probably going to cost me a lunch out of the deal, but well worth it.
The lunch is worth it,
yeah. It's a Jackie Robinson game used jersey, and
crazy.
There are Jackie Robinson game used jerseys out there. This one is what's called a 1-of-1, meaning they made one of these, and it says right on there 1-of-1. There's not a second one. And the jersey on this one, and I'll give it to Dan here.
I can't believe I'm going to touch this card.
Most of the Jackie Robinson cards that are jersey cards that I've seen have the gray away jerseys.
Yeah.
This one, besides being 1-of-1 on its own accord, is a large patch, kind of 4 quadrants.
Yeah.
And it's multicolored, and it has that cream and the Dodger blue, which me and my son were looking at this card, and it's either from the Dodger script on the front of the jersey, and I think it really is that, because you can see a seam on it, and if my history is correct, the Dodgers, I'm not positive, but I don't believe they wore nameplates on the back of their jerseys.
Yeah.
So if they didn't, this wouldn't be from a nameplate. So this would probably be from the Dodgers script logo across the front. So I'll hand it to you. You can take a look at it.
It's okay. This is insane. Like, this is one of the pictures that I use in promotion of John and Newman Sports Cards coming on the show. I don't have words for this, folks. So without further ado, I'm going to let you look at it. Jackie Robinson, 1-of-1. Jackie Robinson, 1-of-1. One made in the world. This card is thick as all get out. And there is 4... the jersey's in there. There's 4 quadrants here. It says the Players Collection. And you're right. You can see the white amidst all the blue. That's some type of lettering and writing. Jackie Robinson. It's got Brooklyn on the back. This is guaranteed by Panini. I mean, this card is... This is like the writing on it and everything. I was like, this looks like, when you go to a country club or a fine dining wedding. It's like, this is what you get when you walk into the wedding. Hey, thanks for coming. Here's a piece of history. I mean, look at this.
To give you a little background, too, on the product, it comes from a product made by Panini called Flawless.
Yeah.
And for those that, some might be familiar with it, for those that aren't, Flawless is what's called a high-end product. It actually comes in a sealed briefcase. It's got cellophane on it.
Yeah.
And a case or a box of the product is over $1,000. And there's about 8 cards in that case. You don't know which 8 you're getting.
Right.
And this was pulled from that $1,000 product.
So how much is this worth?
When it comes to 1-of-1s in the card industry, there's actually no price guide. You can't look up in a book.
Yeah.
It's really what the market would bear. I would guesstimate it at it's a 4-figure, probably between $1,000 and $1,500, potentially more long term. But crazy. At the moment, it was a card that I acquired via auction. Really, with the I rarely do this. Most cards I purchase, I have with the intent of at some point reselling or putting it out in my case at the shows or on my website. This card actually, I probably will put it in my showcase at a show without a price tag, but it won't appear. It won't appear on the website itself. This is one of the few occasions where I purchased the card really without an intent to trade it or resell it.
And it's so nice of you to give this to me today. Look at this card. This when I saw this card, I damn near passed out looking on the Instagram for Newman Sports Cards. I literally, like my heart, like I don't even know how to just. It's like you just kind of drop because It's number one. It's Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. I mean,
number two. It's Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, it's a transcendent.
And it's a piece of his jersey.
It's a transcendent player that even people who aren't sports fans know the human impact that Jackie Robinson has. So to think that this was something he wore, and now you're holding it, or it's at my house is.
I would take a Jackie Robinson T-shirt for Miller Lite. I mean, it doesn't matter to me what the heck he. But this is a piece of his game worn. And you got to think about this, folks. Doing a game worn jersey now, they cut off a little patch of the numerous jerseys that they give the players. Right? You got a St. Louis Cardinal, cut off a little patch, throw it in a card, and with one jersey, you're making all these patches. It's not easy to procure this, I would think. Just go get a Jackie Robinson jersey.
And there's some people that aren't big fans of the old-time players' uniforms being cut up to make these cards. I understand that point of view, but I will say this: there's enough history preserved where there are some, Jackie Robinson jerseys fully intact in museums. And I've done this for 30 years. There's really few cards that I'm in awe of myself anymore, because I've seen just about everything. This is one of those cards that even me are like, know how special it is. And I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, so Jackie Robinson, although he unfortunately passed away before I was even born, I know, being from Brooklyn and being a human, I know the impact he had, not just on sports, but life. And, I'm sure I remember doing many kind of reports in school about him. He was kind of my guy. And my dad, also being from Brooklyn, grew up literally going to games at Ebbets Field. So I know the impact, Jackie had on him. So it's a pretty special card. Actually, I'm going to show it to my dad. He hasn't seen it yet, so you actually saw it before him. So that'll be kind of a cool moment for him.
Now that the card has come to the Wake Up Call Studios, I, like Thanos with the gauntlet, I have to travel with it. So I'm gonna go meet your dad, I guess. But how old's Dad?
I gotta do math here. That's how old he is. So let's see here. 40, 62. He's 79.
79 years old.
Yeah.
And you're gonna bring this card to? Is he a big baseball fan?
He's a huge fan. Like I said,
it's even dirty. It's literally like they took it off of him. And if you look really closely at the white piece of the patch, it's like sweat dirty when it gets like brown.
Yeah. And so he grew up in Ebbets Field, fan of the Dodgers. Obviously, the Dodgers were already had moved out of Brooklyn when I came around. But, if you're from Brooklyn, it's kind of entrenched. It's in your blood that you're a Brooklyn Dodger fan, even if you're born after they're gone. And then you learn the history of the ball club and Jackie Robinson being the first African-American player to break the color barrier. And all that being said, it just a pretty special thing to have, So.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part of it. And we spoke about it before, that baseball was going on for white men, and then there was the Negro League, and Jackie Robinson crossing over into what he did, into what was considered a white man's baseball league or whatever, and to create what's created today, where we have people from all over the world that, not just colors but all different languages, all different backgrounds, and to create the sport that we have today. And some of the players like Shotani and as well as, we're Sammy Sosa, and it's an Ichiro. We're not seeing, if it wasn't for Jackie Robinson, then we wouldn't have anything that we have today. Yeah. We wouldn't have some of the greatest players that we have today. And, it's amazing to say, that if you're coming from the Dominican Republic, thank Jackie Robinson. If you're coming from Japan, thank Jackie Robinson. If you're coming from Guatemala, thank Jackie Robinson. If you're coming from Spain, Italy, wherever, thank Jackie Robinson for this opportunity. It's not just for African American. It was to break the barrier on so many different things and to shatter it. And it's got to mean something to Jackie watching from heaven saying to this day, there's still Jackie Robinson Day. There's still the celebration of everybody wearing number 42. They retired it after Mariano Rivera, and I got to see Mariano wear it on Jackie Robinson Day before he retired with my dad, who had never been to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and
So
to
it's
think of the significance of that no one ever has, across all teams, have had a number retired. Now, individual teams retire their own individual players.
Yeah.
But for the sport itself to say no one on any team in this league is to wear 42 again.
Yeah.
I mean, that, I don't know, that's probably the highest sign of respect that a league can almost give. And like you said, they do Jackie Robinson Day, where everyone that day wears the 42.
Yeah.
And those jerseys are auctioned, and a lot of the money raised, if not all of it, goes to charitable organizations.
Yeah.
Something Jackie was a proponent of, and social issues. So he's not here anymore, but yet he's still, in a sense, here with a lot of good things. A legacy that he left behind, you know. And Rachel, his wife, is still, I mean, she goes out to the ballparks on Jackie Robinson Day. She still gets around and speaks on his behalf and on the families. And I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, you know, I think what's amazing about it is it took so long for the bridge to be crossed and for Jackie Robinson and everybody to come after him. But here's the funny thing, and here's the amazing thing about this, the irony about this. Once Jackie Robinson got into what is now Major League Baseball, he left a mark then, but you can argue that once he opened the door, he's never left, because as much as he's not on this earth, nobody, as John said, nobody has a jersey retired. Nobody has a number across an entire league retired. You can say Michael Jordan's jersey's retired with the Bulls, but 23 is not retired across the board, even for guys like Michael Jordan, even 32 for Magic Johnson, or 33 for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know, when we look at history, nobody is given the amount of respect across the country, across the league, and across history than Jackie Robinson. And it took, like I said, it took so long to cross that bridge, but once he did, that bridge has been open to everyone, to you, me, and everybody, to John and I and you and everyone watching and listening. It's been open. So we can say that Jackie Robinson is just as much a part of the league now as he was the first day he walked through.
More so.
Because of the jerseys being retired, because of selling the jerseys, doing it. Everybody wears number 42. Nobody has a day. There's no Barry Bonds Day, Hank Aaron Day, Babe Ruth Day. There might be things that are done in a community, but Jackie Robinson Day, everybody wear this number today. The number is not available across the country at all. And like you said, then they're going to donate all those to charity every single year. And that's what he was a part of. His wife is still involved. She still speaks on his behalf. She still talks about helping the community, helps the community. You know, there's something to be said about a man who made a connection to the world and broke down barriers, things that Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and all these people were trying to do and working to do. There's something to be said about the fact that Jackie did it, and now we all pay homage to Jackie Robinson still today. And my children will pay that, and my grandchildren will pay that. Nobody has that. In any sport in the world, nobody has a day dedicated to them where thousands of athletes are wearing your, not like that. It makes you want to cry. You know, it's just what Jackie did, and a little thing like this, you know, a card like this that you can hold in the palm of your hand. The only reason why this means anything to me is because of the man that was inside of that jersey.
Yep. And you know, to think, like I said already, he's still, you know, when you're not here no more, you're still having, if maybe not even more of an impact. You know, that tells you the power that he had.
Yeah. Jackie Robinson, we love you. We miss you. And we saw, you know what? It's got me thinking now with Jackie Robinson Day that I think from here on out I'm going to do something special with Wake Up Call.
That'd be cool.
We're going to have to do that, and maybe we can involve John a little bit here.
I'd love it.
What else? What do we have baseball-wise? And we got a lot of hearts for that about doing something on Wake Up Call every year dedicated to Jackie Robinson Day. So
this
you guys
is
like it, we like it. Let's make it happen.
This is kind of a different card. This is what's called a game use booklet. This isn't a 1-of-1. This is 5 of 5. So there are 4 other of these on this card or booklet. And
but is that you get the whole thing?
No, this no, this is a booklet.
Okay.
I can't really take it out, or I would, but this would fold up and make a little booklet. I have it in this acrylic case, so they can all be seen. But if you look, you can see they're attached with
so
a
these
little
are
vinyl.
they look like individual cards, but they're all connected.
Yeah, if this wasn't in the case, this would fold up like a little book.
Like into a little
So there's 10 guys on here. What I love about this card is the 10 guys on here. These are all either jersey pieces or bats.
Yeah.
And the 10 guys on here are either already in the Hall of Fame, and the ones that aren't are well on their way to join
Pete
in.
Rose?
So, and the other ones are well on their way. So you see a Mike Trout. There's a Hank Aaron. That's a bat piece. Chris Bryant is a bat. Ernie Banks jersey. Nolan Ryan jersey. Kershaw, a Jeter, Ozzie Smith, Piazza, and Buster Posey. Okay. And the jersey pieces, of all of them are at least 2 colors, and some are even 3 colors, which are more desirable. And even you can see the banks. You can see the age. On the bank.
Jeter's looks pristine. Jeter's looks like it was pressed and washed right before it was put in here.
So I'll let you take that.
Okay.
So there's 5 of them. That's from a Topps product called Triple Treads. So that's the back sides.
So we look at this. It says 2017 Triple Threads Baseball on the start of the booklet. It says Deck of Threads Combo Relic. It has the Astros, the Giants, Yankees, Mets, and the Cardinals. And then it says Angels, Braves, Cubs again, and Dodgers. Congratulations, you have received a Deck of Relic Combo book card from 2017 Topps Triple Threads Baseball. Mike Trout of the Angels, Chris Bryant of the Cubs, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers, Derek Jeter, Yankees, Buster Posey, Giants, Hank Aaron, Braves, Ernie Banks, Cubs, Nolan Ryan, Astros, Ozzie Smith, Cardinals, and Mike Piazza of the Mets. And it is a booklet, folks. And this is, I got to look at it before you look. I got to take a little gander here. So everybody's liking some Mike Trout.
Yep.
Everybody likes him these days. So we got a Trout jersey, Hank Aaron bat, the Ernie Banks. We could see the worn pieces of his Cubs jersey. We got a Chris Bryant bat. We have Clayton Kershaw, which looks like the lettering to the Dodgers.
Yep.
We have Nolan Ryan of the Astros, got a little dark blue up top here. St. Louis is a 3-color one for Ozzie. Jeter's, like I said, is a pristine white. It looks like he didn't slide this day. So, and then we have Buster Posey, nice and dark, Giants color, gray and black, and a Mike Piazza. This is 5 of 5, as John Newman said, and I'm going to do my best to start. I'm going to start here. How do I do this here? So I want to show, you know what? I think I can get it all in. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Can we get it all in? Yeah, we can get it all in. There you go. So this is called a booklet, and these are some of the greatest ever. One of my favorites of all time, who you saw in the last video. I have his autograph, Nolan Ryan. Love Nolan Ryan. But this man right here, Mr. Jeter, he was like an unspoken favorite player of mine. I didn't say much. I went and I got, when he was a rookie, I got in school when they used to have the Scholastic Book Fair and all of that. I got a poster of him that's a, it's a good size, I got that and I had it behind my door and I had a bunch of Yankee stuff, but I was always more of a Jeter fan than A-Rod, who went to the Mariners at the time. And Jeter I always liked him from afar, and now I look for Jeter autographs and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm going to have to go through John for some of this. Some of it is outrageous, but
Yeah.
this is.
Jeter's one of those guys. You don't have to be just a Yankee fan. Just he had that respect. He went about the game the right way, played it the right way. The captain, as they call him.
Yeah. So when you got this, did you get it all folded up?
Yeah, that one. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to actually open a pack and get that. I didn't get it in that fashion. That one I had to purchase. So the person I purchased it from had to ship it to me, and it actually came in a little plastic case folded up. Yeah. But what tends to happen is if you keep it folded up, two things. You obviously can't see the cards, and that tape that holds, that vinyl that holds the cards together will wear out. And then it will
if you can see
deteriorate.
it's extremely thin. You can see it right here.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but it's what connects each panel to the next one.
You can see it right here.
And like any book, if you keep opening it up to look at it constantly, those will eventually wear thin and then potentially fall apart. So this is a case. I don't have the guy's name, but I actually had to special order this case for this type of card. And
I was going to say, where did you get the case?
I found them online from a recommendation from some. I kind of posed the question out there: what do you put these deck of booklets in so you don't have them folding up constantly?
Yeah.
And someone
because it protects the corners of the cards on the end here. If you can see it, let me go right here.
There's a space.
Yeah, there's a space right here that'll protect it. So if we bring that closer, you see a little opening.
And it's acrylic, so UV rated and yada yada. So it's one of those cards. Now this one, unlike the Jackie, this one is, you will see this in my case. It's priced. It's not cheap, as you can see.
Are people buying these? Or like when you buy a pack of triple thread, how much does a pack cost?
A pack of triple treads is probably it's 3 digits, $100 to $200.
How do you know? But like the thing is, can't people kind of feel that they get this card?
The way most of these packs are, they're thick to begin with, and there's like five or six cards in them.
Yeah.
Well, if you have this in it, that will be the only thing in it. So it will still feel like those 5 or 6 cards.
It'll feel like a normal pack because it'll be like these are all just on top of each other.
But I have seen these been opened on like camera. And a lot of times the person open them will say, this feels like a booklet, and sure enough. So it may be a little larger. I've never had the privilege of actually opening one and getting one.
It would have to be like a jumbo pack, you know what I mean? Because how thick this is going to be. But they got it, they play with you by putting those like hard plastic into some of the
cards.
the dummy cards.
Yeah.
So here we go again. This is a booklet, folks. This is not 5 cards. You can't say, hey, can I have that one in the middle? They're all together.
It's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. It's funny you mentioned that because I had posted this on one of my social media accounts, and someone sent me a message asking how much the Posey and Piazza was.
Yeah. And John's like, hold on, let me cut it off here. Give me a minute.
And then I just having a little fun, I gave them the price for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of balked, and then I hit them with this is all one card, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting, if they want Posey, I mean, I think it's okay to get Nolan Ryan and Derek Jeter and
a lot of
Hank Aaron. These guys were pretty good, right?
Yeah,
they're okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mike Trout, he's not bad.
Probably in the Hall of Fame. There's some people argue he's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Mike Piazza, greatest Met ever.
And the funny thing with these booklets, there's a few of them out there that have some decent players on them. And then there's 3 or 4 on them that are not as desirable. The thing that struck me with this one is when you look at all 10 of them, like I said, they're either already in the hall or headed that way.
If I don't like some of the players on it, can I just cut them off?
You can, but you
Why would they do that though? I mean, look at this is a Hall of Fame board. Yeah. Why would they put like random guy over here and random person here? Like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't have one like that, or I would have brought it with me. But there's a few where there's 6 guys that are Hall of Famers, and then 4 that kind of make you scratch your head.
You know what they should do? They should do one. They should do one called the Asterisk Group, and they should do one for steroids. And they could have like Clement. Let me think here. They could have Clemens, They could have Sammy Sosa. They could have Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, A-Rod, Romero. We can make it all happen.
Yeah.
So I would love that. Get one like this with 10 guys and call it the Asterisk Club that are in the Hall of Fame with bats and stuff, kind of. That'd be funny.
They'll probably do it, so make sure you get some royalties.
Listen, if you're going to make a group of baseball players that were enhanced by a drug, make sure that not only do you send me one in a case like this, but you thank Dan Tortora on the back, Triple Threads. But thanks for the idea, Dan.
And there's one of these. Obviously, I don't have it. I would love to own it. I don't think I can afford it. There's one of these that has 50 guys, but they're autographs rather than jersey pieces.
In a booklet?
Yes.
But how do you open it? It's all over your floor.
Yeah, it's thicker, and it's. I'll see if I can get even like a picture of it.
It'd be like a mile long. That's
and
crazy.
It's insane. And usually something like that, they exist, but those are always one-on-ones. They don't
folks, this is a card. You don't want to believe me, but this is one card. It's called a booklet. Yeah. I didn't know what a booklet was, and now I do. And this is them. And I look forward to the idea that I gave to Triple Threads of the group of... we could call it the Juiced Collection. Asterisk Collection, Juice Collection. We won't let you in the Hall Collection. I think they should do one with...
You could put Pete Rose on there.
Well,
I know he didn't take steroids, but...
They should do one that's just Pete Rose, all 10. And it's bats and jerseys and all this stuff, and they just make the whole thing Pete Rose. I would love it. I got some old Pete Rose cards.
Yeah, he's still, for all the controversy surrounding him, he's actually still pretty collectible. His autograph, unfortunately, is not worth much. You can get a Pete Rose autograph card, a certified one.
Yeah.
They go for like $20-$30 top. Sometimes you can get them even for less than that. The problem is every week he's somewhere just signing 1 million autographs. So he's kind of watered the market down. It's actually a big form of income for him at this point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's at Cooperstown quite a bit, signing there a lot. So, he even charges more to write like something else besides his autograph.
Because my cousin met him and had him sign something, and then he wrote a little something.
Yeah, there's one point he would charge extra, and he would write, "I did not bet on the Reds," or "I did not bet on baseball." And then when he admitted it, now he charges extra, and he wrote, "I bet, yes, I did bet on baseball," and
I would put "Let Me in the Hall" on all that.
Yeah, no one can argue. And I'm one of those guys that believes he should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. But no one loves Pete Rose more than Pete Rose does.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably that could be true. He's got to love himself some Pete Rose. Yeah. But I would say but that's not me. I think I love me, but the wife loves me. The pup loves me. I think Lily might love me a lot.
If you ever seen Pete Rose interviewed or his recent stint as doing games, it's pretty apparent. He's not shy. Let's put it that way. So
we should do a show with Pete when he comes to Cooperstown. We should put him right here and call it the Rose Between Thorns. I would love that.
I would be there. That's for sure. And listen, you can't, regardless of what you think of him personally or the guy was one of the best players ever to play the game.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that too, but he's not really lying. So, I think honestly, I think he should be a Hall of Famer. I think there's, that's a show for another day, I guess. But
he should be.
When you have
he never bet against him, right? He always bet for them.
He always bet for him.
And the thing is, arguably, doesn't everybody bet on their team? Like, don't we all hope that our team wins? So he was. I understand what was wrong about it, but I'm saying he wasn't the Black Sox.
No.
He wasn't, hey, let's throw this thing.
And let's be realistic without even going into details. There's guys probably in the Hall of Fame that have done worse stuff. Maybe we don't even realize it.
And Will Chamberlain write a book about all the women that he slept with?
And, Ty Cobb's apparently done this and that, and that's not so nice. And, no one argues that he's shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's one of the greatest players ever.
Right.
So I understand a lot of people don't like Pete because of the way he is about himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to like him, but when you look at what he did as a player, I don't think you can say he really shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
We should probably put that up as a poll. We're going to do that on Twitter @CallDT. Follow me on Twitter @CALLDT. I'm going to put up a post. I know we've been talking about that. People talk about this for years, but I'm going to put it up today because we're talking about it. Does Pete Rose deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
And I know MLB has the rule with gambling, and he knew the rule, and but let's be honest. You can go to any wagering site and bet on baseball games to this day.
Right.
So, I think he should be in just on his performance on the field alone.
Right.
You don't have to like the man, but you got to acknowledge he had one heck of a career.
Yeah, you got to acknowledge that, what he's done. And again, he bet on his team. And that's the thing, is he bet on his team to win. He didn't tell them to lose. He didn't demand that they lose. He didn't push them to lose. And, I think it's not right to do it, but like you said, people are betting all the time. People are doing whatever they want with this. That's how Vegas stays open.
He got, in a way, I'm of the belief he did get punished. He kind of served that punishment, and it's been long enough. What I have a feeling may happen, Dan, is they might actually wait till he passes away, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and then
let him in.
And then let him in. But I don't know. To me, that's kind of, if you're going to put him in and be done with it.
Right. But that's the thing. It's just like Jim Boeheim's wins. I think they'll give him back 101 wins when he passes away.
How do you say those didn't happen when everyone saw it?
How do you say the losses happened but the wins didn't?
Yeah.
How do you affect the percentages?
I never understood how they can take away wins, and that game didn't happen. And
so in a year that the team was like 31-4 or whatever, it says 0-4. On the years that they were 27-11, it says.
If I bought
11.
tickets for any of those games, I would kind of want my money back since the game didn't occur.
Right, and here's my question: I spent a lot of money to cover the Final Four in the national championship in 2013. If Louisville didn't win it and it didn't happen, I want reimbursement for the taxis, for my airfare, for the hotel, for food. I want it all back. Because if it didn't happen, and hence I was never there, why did I pay for it?
I agree with you. You want to I understand there has to be punishment, but I don't think you can just erase history that easily. I think it's, and I don't think people, especially the general public, acknowledge it even. I don't even think people who don't like Boeheim won't even take those wins away. I think that's just from the establishment, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave Paterno his wins back.
Yeah, they did.
So
after he allegedly potentially had hidden a child abuser for years in his staff.
I haven't seen it.
He died, and they replenished his wins.
I haven't seen the new Paterno movie
that's
on HBO
with Pacino,
and
it'll make you think.
Yeah, and
if it's accurate behind the scenes,
they're saying it's worse. If it's true, they're saying it's worse for Paterno than initially we thought.
If what you see in the movie Paterno, played by Al Pacino, if you watch, which, by the way, Al Pacino should play Rick Pitino because he looks like him. But if you watch Paterno and you see that on HBO, number one, it's going to make you think a lot. It's going to make you cry. I spent like a half an hour talking about the case the day after on the show because after I watched, I wanted to go look things up, and I followed the timeline. There's still things going on legally in 2018 right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And with that stuff, if you want to punish the institution, take scholarships away, fine them millions of dollars or a monetary fee, I understand that. But to take wins away that happened, I don't think you can revisit history and rewrite history like that.
No, I don't think you can rewrite history, but there's a bunch of children out there that would wish their history was never written that way.
I agree, and I'm not trying to. Obviously, that's a horrible, tragic situation.
It's awful.
and that's where the lawsuits come in and the monetary stuff. But to just say games didn't happen, those players were on the field,
and the players didn't do it.
Those people were in the stands. They know the outcome of the game. I think that's separate from, unfortunately, the tragedy that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we're gonna take a step aside here on video, and you're gonna hear on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt a fast break. For everybody watching on video, grab your friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, sports cards, and sports fans alike, and have you all join us for our next video. So we're gonna take a fast break on MixLR, and then we're gonna shoot another video in studio here in just a moment. So follow us over on Facebook and stay with us on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
Gear up with the real deal at Dry Sig Apparel, creating what people are going to see and learn about you before they even meet you. Gear up for what you need for your team, business, or event. To look professional, look good, and feel good, outfit yourself at DrySigApparel.com. That's DREISSIG Apparel.com. The only place to gear up with the real deal.
Utica Pizza Company spells family. Your family, my family, their family. The recipes that they have shared with each other throughout the years and have now been so gracious to share them with us. I can sit here and talk with you about all the great things that are on the menu, but we'd be here forever. So let me say this. Utica Pizza Company is second to none. And now you can bring it home with you and you can dine in the restaurant. UticaPizzaCompany.com will give you all the information that you need. And let me say, these Utica greens, they're the best. Utica Pizza Company. Call them and place your order at 315-214-3060. That's 315-214-3060. Families break bread at Utica Pizza Company.
What's the universal language of a fan? Clapping your hands. With Fan Hands, the ultimate sports fan accessory, find your team color, slip them on, and start cheering on your favorite team with 11 different colors, always in stock on fanhands.com, where you'll find the ultimate sports fan accessory. Real fans wear Fan Hands.
Hi, this is Kira from Looking Glass Events, where we're always giving you a reason to celebrate. Whether you have a small business, large business, personal event, or wedding, we are available to plan and coordinate your dream event to life. Every detail, every step, Looking Glass Events is working with you all the way. Call us at 315-702-4653. That's 315-702-4653. Or contact us through our website, lgweddingsandevents.com. Looking Glass Events, giving you a reason to celebrate.
The Penn and Trophy Center on 111 East Willow Street in Syracuse, New York, has been making memories for Central New York for over 60 years. It has the trophies for your teams, and when you walk in there, it's so much more than just that. When you walk into the Penn and Trophy Center, you are immersed in the reality that anything can be customized, anything can be engraved, whether it's for your anniversary, your wedding, your bar mitzvah, your birthday party, whatever you want to do with that memory, that watch from Grandpa, or that bracelet from Mom, or that wedding ring that's been passed down through your family. If you want to get something engraved with a memory to last a lifetime, the Penn and Trophy Center, 111 East Willow Street in Syracuse, New York, where memories are made and where memories last a lifetime.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both.
It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and on Facebook Live, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with Newman Sports Cards. Of course, myself, Dan Tortora, and of Newman Sports Cards, the owner and operator, John Newman. I want to call you like John C. Newman III. I don't know. I like the way it sounds. It's got a ring to it.
You can call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner.
There you go. My grandma always said you can call me whatever you want, just don't swear at me. So. And my grandmother also said you can always talk to yourself as long as nobody answers.
I answer, though. That's the problem.
Well, and then my wife said, she goes, what if you talk to yourself and... Oh, no, who was somebody said this to me? They said, if you talk to yourself and then you say to yourself, what did you say? Yeah. That's a problem, too, if you're not listening.
That I haven't done yet,
yeah,
but maybe my head is
so when you speak to yourself, you hear yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. We got somewhere. We've connected the threads. And speaking of the threads, we've had some cool threads come through here in this Sports Card Sports Show bonding that we have. When John Newman's in the building, we're on video, and we're also live on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Awesome viewership on all of our videos. And if you have questions about cards, if you're interested in a card, we have many a card here, folks. We have lots of things going on here. So if you have cards you're interested in, and if you have questions on the industry, we're here for that. And because I speak on football a lot and spend a lot of time on the NFL, we're going to get to that in a minute, and we're going to discuss why defensive players aren't that sought after, why their cards aren't worth that much, why their jersey cards and their relic stuff and their autographs are not priced as high. We'll talk about the hype of the NFL draft picks right now, a week after, how people are running to eBay and to websites and whatnot to go buy this stuff up. I've experienced this personally, and I'm sure that, John, you're getting a feel for this as well. So we're going to discuss all of that in the connection to the NFL draft and what it's done to the sports card industry in the here and now. But before we go there, John has some more goodies from the baseball world, and he's already given me the Jackie Robinson. He's giving me more stuff today, so we're going to check this out.
So I brought someone that local Syracuse people, a name probably are familiar with, and I think a lot of local people are fans of them. This is, if you're in the hobby, or if you're not, you hear a term called RPA. Yeah. And what RPA is short for is Rookie Patch Auto. And it's a rookie card that's produced with a patch and an autograph. They're usually highly sought after, obviously, especially if the player is significant and good. So the one I brought here is an RPA. It's Trey Turner, who played, obviously, with the Syracuse Chiefs on his way up to the Nationals, where he is now. One of the better players in the league. Steals bases, some power, bats around 300. And I'm a Mets guy, but I have to admit I'm kind of a Trey Turner fan. Yeah. Except when he plays the Mets. But I do like him. He's a very good player. I watched him, obviously, when he was here with the Chiefs. And this is an RPA of his. It's a 3-color patch, numbered to 49, out of a product called National Treasures, which is another high-end product. So I'll hand that off to you.
So this is different from RPI, which NCAA Selection Committee says they care about, but if it's Syracuse, they don't. So the RPI is a little bit different, and the RPA Rookie Patch Auto. And I'm thankful to have some of these. I think I have, before I show this really quick, I know that I showed this last time. Rookie Patch Auto, Leonard Fournette, forget the price there. That was a nice sale. It's worth a lot more than that to me. But this is actually more. It's rookie patch auto refractor.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on with Leonard Fournette and this little doozy of a card. But the one that John's talking about here is Trey Turner. It is. I love the 3-color patches, but they're when you go to buy them, there's so much. Like people want. It's almost like they add another $10 onto the value.
There's a premium to them.
So this is a 33 of 49 in the world. It is a very nice signature. I like it. If he was my doctor, I'd trust him. That's a nice little doctor signature. But yeah, Trey Turner, rookie card. The patch is 3-color, and the autograph is there, and there's 49 in the world. And Trey Turner played for that team that you know called the Syracuse Chiefs, who used to be the AAA farm team of the Nationals, and now they are the AAA team of the New York Mets. And the New York Mets, it's a little bit different here. Now the New York Mets own this franchise, so it's a different feel. There's not a local ownership. This is, it used to be that it was owned by the Simone family. Then it went to another group that had them in the Samorel family, and now the Mets have taken over AAA in Syracuse. But before they did that, Trey Turner played for the Nationals and the Syracuse. Well, he plays for the Nationals now. Played for the Syracuse Chiefs, and this is a triple color patch, little tricolor patch, little autograph, rookie of Trey Turner, and like John said, it's an RPA instead of the RPI, which in the NCAA selection committee only matters half the time, depending on what team you are. So what does it say on the back here? And I like all this. It says the enclosed autograph and material are guaranteed by Panini. What that essentially means is if they find it to be a fake, or they find that it was a Dak Prescott type auto pen that was doing this, that they owe you a new one, so to speak.
And it's definitely bad publicity that they don't want.
Yeah. And what is it about the NFC East? Dak Prescott, Eli Manning, what's going on over here? If I find out Nick Foles is doing this, because Foles is a good guy, as far as I know. He comes across like a good hometown boy. So if Nick Foles starts auto-penning things, I'm going to have some issues.
Well, Nick Foles is not as much in demand as a Dak Prescott.
That's true, because I have a Nick Foles rookie card, and I feel like, why would nobody want this card? They want the Carson Wentz one, which I have rookie Carson Wentz, but this is some Trey Turner love. That's the thing, even if it's not my favorite team, I love the tricolor. Like Nolan Ryan, they have ones that look like the old lollipops for the Astros, and it's got like the red and the yellow. If it's just red or orange, I don't want it.
Yeah, the creamsicle uniform.
Yeah, I love those. So they're so cool. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, I want one that has like part of the snake.
And in some of these patch cards like this, you can actually tell what it's from, whether it be a logo patch, a nameplate. This one to me looks like part of the number.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about because the way that it comes down and it curves here with the point, but the thing is, you could see the stitching.
Yeah,
it's so cool. My grandmother, if they did this like not on but on anything, my grandmother was a seamstress. Like she did so many different things.
Maybe she could have made some fake ones.
She would have, she would have made some awesome money on this thing. So shout out to G Mama in heaven. It's like, Grandma, when you come back and I come back, and our spirits come back to this earth maybe someday, what we're going to do is we're going to work on these, and we're going to take a commission. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to keep all the Babe Ruths, the Nolan Ryans, and the Jackie Robins. But look at that. Trey Turner. I love that. And that's the thing, though. It's like, I'm not a Nationals fan, but this is such a cool looking.
Yep.
I'm going to give that back to you.
And the last one, as far as baseball goes,
I saw this on your.
This another guy that came through Syracuse. Not here very long. I actually went to his first game here. Me and Jordan both went to his first game. I believe he doubled his first at bat.
Is he that good? I don't know if he's that good. I don't know if people like him.
Yeah, well, he's a great player. He's definitely brash. He's got some swag, as they say.
Yeah.
This is one of this is a rookie card of his, and this is a refractor besides being a rookie. And the other thing about this card, this is graded by PSA, which we talked a little bit about the last time I was here. Where you send the card in. And they will look at it under lighting and magnification, and then assign it a grade, slab it, and then send it back to you.
Yeah.
This card I didn't personally have graded. I bought it already graded.
Yeah.
I actually just got a submission to Beckett graded back, where I did very well with 26 cards. I sent in, and I've graded cards probably now for 10, 15 years since Beckett really started grading.
Yeah.
And early on, I wish I knew early on what I know now. It's one of those deals, because I sent some stuff in on those early submissions that knowing what I do now, I probably would have never sent them.
Yeah.
So this is a graded Bryce Harper Bowman Chrome Prospects refractor rookie, which got a 9 out of 10 from some PSA.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. And
yeah, it's a nice card right now. He's in his contract year, playing really well. Hitting home runs every other day. So he's going to get paid. Probably not in Washington. Let the debate begin where he winds up. I've heard the Cubs. I've heard the Yankees, which I hope not.
Yeah. If he goes to the Yankees and having Judge and Harper,
I don't know how they'll be paying some serious luxury tax penalties.
Yeah. Well, they don't really care about paying taxes or penalties or anything.
The Steinbrenners have it, but
yeah.
I even being a Mets fan, it'd be nice. Actually, I would love him to come to New York, but he already says he hates the Mets. But sometimes money makes you forget that.
Yeah. Well, if he came to the Mets as opposed to the Yankees, this would be historically, in all the years of baseball, one of the biggest slaps in the faces to the Yankees, and the Mets would get a win here. I mean, the Mets aren't doing bad right now.
No, they're actually they're a little bit struggling this week, but overall they're doing pretty well. Mickey Callaway's
not that far behind.
Mickey Callaway's got them playing better than previous years.
We'll
There's
a team called the Diamondbacks doing okay too.
Yeah. The Wilpons don't like to pay people, so I don't look for Harper Mets jerseys in the Mets pro shop anytime soon. But
if I had a guy like Bryce Harper, I think I would be willing to look at what the payment would be.
Yeah, I foresee him probably being the next highest paid player in the game. I think he knows it. It's just a matter who's going to pay it and where he winds up. So.
Well, it's a good place to be in for him, but it's interesting here how. I mean, anytime a player gets really, really good and then they come up to the end of their contract, everybody says, well, they'll be a Yankee now or a Yankee later.
Yeah.
And it would be nice for baseball to see him go somewhere else, but for the Yankee fans, the rich get richer. So this is a mint. It is graded number 9. It is a Bowman Chrome. I always liked Chrome. And we don't have this anymore for football. But Bowman Chrome, it is a refractor, a Bryce Harper autograph. I believe this is on card. Correct?
Yeah. No, actually, this is a facsimile autograph.
Facsimile
so
autograph.
The autograph's not real. So it's just a rookie card.
Autograph.
Yep.
So just a rookie card here, because you see on the back that doesn't say that it's...
It's funny because I remember when these first came out, there's a lot of people that thought it was a real autograph and were buying them as such. And it's also one of those cards that if it's on an auction site like eBay, somebody unsuspecting might be feeling like they're buying a genuine autograph, yet they aren't.
So, right, and how do they do that?
There is a version of this card.
Yeah,
that is actually
lying on eBay. How do you say from looking at the picture? This from looking at it right in front of my face, it looks like an autograph.
Yeah, and there is a version of this card that is signed genuinely. That's over $1,000. This particular card's about $110 because it's not signed.
So how can you tell the difference when you're on eBay?
Well, if the auctioneer, if the person that's listing it doesn't list it as signed or genuine autograph, then they're really not in trouble.
Right.
If they list the auction as autograph,
as an auto card,
and then the person buys it and it's not, then they have a case to refund them, get their money refunded.
Yeah, but this is still it's a mint here. It's number 9, and it's a Bryce Harper rookie refractor.
Yeah, I love this card, and Topps does this with their Bowman product. They made this autograph look so so genuine, even though it's a facsimile, that what tends to happen is someone might list this card on eBay, and someone who's not familiar with cards, let's say, a kid tells his mom or dad, I want a Bryce Harper rookie.
Right.
And then that mom or dad goes on.
Well, it's easy to make a mistake. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it right in front of my eye, and this looks like it could have been there.
And that mom just goes on eBay and in the search field types in Bryce Harper rookie. This card will pop up, let's say, and they're like, ooh, it's signed too. And they purchase thinking that it may have an autograph on it when it's just a facsimile.
Yeah, I've been collecting since I was a kid.
So it may not even
easy to make
it may not even be the case where the seller is posing it as that.
Yeah.
It may be where the buyer mistakenly assumes
that it is. Well, I'm gonna show some people some stuff that we have here. I'm gonna flip to basketball before we get to football really quick. I'm gonna do this because I feel the need to do this. So I was a big Damon Stoudemire fan. I'm still a big Damon Stoudemire fan. You can see him right over my shoulder here. This actually hung up in my bedroom as a child. My Damon Stoudemire's rookie card and all that good stuff. And so I had that there from my parents. So I believe I had this card and I traded it away. And I'm big about, the connection to some of these in my private collection, that I don't care if it's worth 75 cents, but when I lose a card, when I trade a card away or something like that, or maybe the card gets messed up, this is one that I believe I traded away, and I just really wanted it back, new edition. So this is Topps Gallery, and these cards were, the cards that were made for basketball when I was a kid, I like a lot more than the ones now.
Yeah. Now, Topps Gallery product, they make obviously baseball. They did football when they were licensed. Yeah. I love the Gallery product. They're glossy cards, and because of their gallery they're thicker, and they're usually close-up headshots where you kind of see the person more up close.
Yeah, this looks like an Olin Mills picture of David Stoudemire. Looks like you took it at JCPenney's, and I love it.
And so a lot of people like the gallery cards because they're more of a less in action and more of a personable, where you get to see the player.
And then this one is one that I got. This is a Damon Stoudemire card, and it's Premier Prospects. This is one of my favorite cards that I own because it actually looks like there's like grooves in it and whatnot, and so you could see it. I got another one of these because the one that I had with the Damon Stoudemire cards, I constantly was taking them in and out of the plastic because I love Damon Stoudemire, and he's my favorite player in history, and I'm a big Steph Curry fan now, but I'm a big Damon Stoudemire fan historically ever since him coming from Arizona to the Raptors. So this was a case where I have this card. I saw this card online for like 75 cents, and I bought it because I had played with my cards so much that I had messed up, the edges and the cards, so there's little white marks. So I looked for a good quality card of Damon Stoudemire so that I could put this in my collection as one that's untouched.
That's an SP Premier.
Yep.
And what's cool about that card, if you flip it over, it's got a foil back too.
Yep.
Which you don't see too much anymore, just because
not a refractor,
of the cost.
just a little mirror looking thing.
Yeah, it's a foil back, and you don't see these made too much anymore, just because they just cost the companies more money to produce them.
Yeah, this was Upper Deck. So there you go. Damon Stoudemire, or as my grandmother called him, Damon Studebaker. But this is Damon. So these are like private collection stuff that I wanted, and like I said, it's like 75 cents of my money, but it means something to me. I'm trying to see if I have now. I will show this to some SU fans before we get off of basketball and move into some other things, and I have another baseball one to show before we hop into football. But I wanted one of these because A, I know him personally, and I spoke with him coming into SU. I spoke with him in his time at SU. I have stood up for him with people being crazy about this gentleman on social media. This is an autograph on card, no sticker. Yeah. It is a refractor, and it is a rated rookie. And I really like the optic, the Donruss optic rated rookie. Yeah. Whether it's baseball, football, basketball, I like them. So this is an autograph refractor rated rookie of Tyler Lydon with the Denver Nuggets with his autograph on card. As you see, folks, as I go back and forth, There's no sticker. And what you'll see with the sticker cards is essentially there'll be like a piece here that's on that white, and his autograph is on the sticker, and then they stick it to whatever cards. So he signs a bunch of these, and then they stick it on all the cards they want to. This is one where he actually held the card in his hand and signed it, or he had to in some way interact with the card with this blue marker. So this is one that was held in the hand of Tyler Lydon, and I just wanted it for my collection because I'm a fan of the man, and he was always good to me, and I appreciate him, and I value him, and I value what he did for Syracuse, and I value him making three-pointers with one shoe on. So this is a Tyler Lydon rated rookie refractor autograph on card, and I think this card cost me like $5.
Yeah.
Why? Because he got hurt this year.
Yeah.
So this rated rookie card, and I guess he got hurt in his rookie campaign, so according to Ben Simmons, Tyler Lydon's going to be a rookie next year. Mm-hmm. But, if you look at this, I mean, all this man has to do is come in and, average like 10 points, do some cool things. These things will hike up to $20, $30, and I got it at like $5.50 because I bought it in a year where he got hurt.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just a smart thing to do. If someone goes down with an injury, especially before they've done anything, and you feel strongly that they're, post-injury they're going to be a good player, that would be a time to buy low, as they say.
The other one that I have, and I was, everybody that knows me knows I was born on October 21st, so the statement Mr. October means something to me because I get to be a Mr. October on the 21st. So I have a inscribed Reggie Jackson, and Reggie Jackson is one of the Yankee greats and a great in baseball in general. It's called Names of the Game. This looks worn a little bit here. It is a piece of his. Now, I have jersey cards. This is an actual piece of his pinstripe pants. And depending on what card you get, because they cut them all a certain way, some of them are just white. Yeah. Some of them are angled, where you barely see the blue stripe. But this is a Yankee pinstripe piece of authentic game-worn pants by Reggie Jackson, a.k.a. Mr. October. And this is in my collection.
And the last time I was here, my connection to Reggie, he was one of the first big names of the first pack I ever opened, and probably the reason I still involved in cards today.
Is Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a Reggie fan per se. Like, I don't collect all this stuff, but getting that, back when I was 7 years old, Reggie was baseball. Like you said, Mr. October. Yep. I lived in New York City, so pulling that Reggie out of the first pack really reeled me in and got me into cards.
And the cool thing about this is this actually says on the back, this certificate expressly warrants the authenticity of the game piece or the piece of game-worn pants on the front of this card, and it is signed by the senior VP of Fleer Skybox with the actual signature of the senior VP. So it's not just saying Panini says this is authenticated. This is the senior VP putting his name on it, saying, I, Lloyd, am telling you that this is a real piece. Lloyd Pollock. So there's Mr. October.
And in some of these cases, this I know too, Dan, in some of these cases, the player itself will deliver some of their uniforms to the card facility themselves. So this may be a case where that is, which is why it's written as such on the back.
Now, can I ask? Normally, these when you get game worn something that's numbered, these are not numbered.
Yeah, that means there's probably thousands of them potentially, or they just maybe not even 1,000 of them. Maybe there's less than 1,000. They just, for whatever their reasoning, they just didn't number them.
Because you see this one of the Game Worn Pants by Reggie Jackson, and that is not numbered. However, the Hank Aaron one that I showed you a piece of his bat before, there's 200 in the world.
Yep.
I love this card. Like, literally, after you left, I was like, I need to have a bat card.
Yeah.
And I went and found a bat card. And you were on vacation, so I didn't want to bother you.
That's
but
all right.
I'm going to have to buy bat cards from you now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is, once again, my Hank Aaron bat card.
Yep.
And the bat looks so nice. It looks like fresh cut wood.
Yeah, you look at that card and you wonder what did what did that bat where that cut is from do? What kind of signet did it hit a home run?
If it's Hank Aaron, it did something good.
I would assume so. Yes.
So we're going to get into football now and how rookies are treated. Right now, it's a hot time to sell rookies. It's a hot time to buy rookies, and it's exciting because some rookies are going to be overpriced. Your Josh Allens, your Josh Rosens, your Baker Mayfields, your I'm trying to think who Sam Darnold's, your Saquon Barkleys and whatnot. They're going to be overpriced, but if they do really well, it's going to only go up. If they bomb, well, you're taking a bet on this. But if you're a seller, it doesn't really matter who you have as a rookie. Somebody's going to want them. I have undrafted rookies that people bought from me that are signed. I have 7th-round picks that are all up in this. But as you can see, I got one of these here. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, with football, baseball with draft picks, the early round picks tend to be the ones that hit.
Yeah.
Football, you can have a 6th-rounder. For the first guy I'm a Steeler guy, Antonio Brown's a 6th-round pick, and to me, he's the best receiver in the game. And then you look at how many first-round guys never amount to much in their career. So football is kind of a riskier sport to what we term as prospecting in.
Right.
Because as you just stated, you can spend hundreds of dollars, let's say, on a Josh Rosen autograph rookie, and if his career doesn't pan out, that you'll see that years later for $5-10 in a bargain bin.
Right.
Somewhere.
So I rolled the dice on this guy. I think I spent $6, $6.50 on it. Mike Hughes. Now I cover the American Athletic and the ACC very heavily, as you all know, from the teleconferences to going on site to their media days to during the season. And, Mike Hughes is somebody I got to see with his teammates, Central Florida play. This is a sticker, so it's not an on-card, it's on the sticker, and then the sticker put on the card. But this is from Panini, Mike Hughes, and a corner here, high draft pick. And, his cards are anywhere from $6 to $5 to $1 to $20, whatever it may be. But he's one of the guys, he's a defensive player.
Yeah.
So I buy it for $6. He might be $6 even if he plays well.
Yeah.
Why are defensive players so disrespected, like a Mike Hughes, to say, okay, if he has a phenomenal season, right? Let's say he gets 6 interceptions. Let's say, he has, 60 tackles. And let's say that his team goes to the playoffs. Josh Rosen could win 7 games with Arizona, and his is going to be higher than this. Why are the defensive players so disrespected?
I think the obvious reason is, everyone's in love with the swagger, the touchdowns, and defenders, sacks, interceptions. Wow, those win ball games, it's, everyone wants to score touchdowns. Everyone wants to be, when you're that kid in your backyard playing, you throw that ball up to yourself to catch a touchdown in the end zone. No one ever, dives and pretends they're sacking the quarterback to end the game and win it that way. So I think it's just sexier for offensive players to score touchdowns, be a quarterback. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think I'm a guy that coached defensive side of the ball in high school, so I know how important defense is. You look at a guy like Joey Bosa, Luke Kuechly. These guys are franchise type defensive ball players, but yet their cards pale in comparisons to offensive counterparts on their same team that in real life get paid less and maybe are less valuable to the team, but on the cardboard aspect, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think it's just people fall in love with the touchdown makers rather than the difference makers on the other side of the ball. Yeah.
So I want to show everybody, these are the Panini contenders. I'm a fan of Panini contenders. These are, as you can see, for anybody, speaking with Harold Landry earlier on in today's show, he's a Titan. Who are these? These are the Jaguars. These are the Jaguars' first round pick, second round pick, and third round pick. Now, this card, speaking of defensive players getting disrespected, Taven Bryan out of Florida, he makes 8. But Dante Fowler, they didn't pick up his option, so we'll see on Dante Fowler. But right now, 8 players, the stacked defensive line of the best defense, arguably, in the country in the NFL of 32 teams. Taven Bryan, this autograph card, and this is a sticker on there, so it's not on card, it's a sticker from Panini Contenders. Taven Bryan, drafted first round by the Jacksonville Jaguars. This card cost me about $2.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
In comparison, DJ Chark, on-card signature. As you can see, he actually signed over the dotted line with the D.
Yep.
This is an on-card signature by DJ Chark, so a little difference here. I think you can see here you can see the sticker where you see the line and then the other line. Here there are no lines because it's an on-card signature. DJ Chark. So first round Taven Bryan, right? First round, $2. DJ Chark, bidding war, $21.75 for DJ Chark, the second round pick by the Jaguars, offensive player. Third round, steal. I said the Jaguars needed a safety because they got A.J. Boye at corner on one side. They got Jalen Ramsey corner on the other side. We know that Barry Church isn't going to play football forever. This is a sticker on the card, so not a strictly on-card one. Ronnie Harrison from Alabama, third-round draft pick. A lot of people calling this a potential steal for the Jaguars.
Speaking of steal, I thought it was going to be a stealer. Is everything I read.
There you go. You were hoping he would be a stealer.
Everything I read said that if he was there at 28, they were taking him, and he was, and they didn't take him. So
how about this? Let's go here. I'm going to go left to right, so I got to go opposite. So these are your Jacksonville Jaguars first, second, and third round picks. We have Taven Bryan, which I got this autograph for about $2. The on card, which is going to make a little bit more, but DJ Chark went for 21, and then Ronnie Harrison, one of the steals of the draft potentially, and I think one of my upcoming favorite players could be Ronnie Harrison from Alabama, sticker signature here, and I think this cost me like $5. Yeah, this was $5. So just the crazy change of this, and then this was almost Mr. Irrelevant from the last year's draft. He was second to last, and he's on the roster for the team. Cleveland Browns, Matt Days. This is a sticker on the card, but the card has extra thickness, almost like it's a jersey card. There's only 49 in the world. This is number 48. Matt Days from NC State. And this was I think this cost me $2 because it's a late draft pick. But I'm telling you right now, folks, this guy's either going to make the Browns or some other team a nice backfield with some help if he gets an opportunity that he deserves.
It's funny about Mr. Irrelevant. This year's Mr. Irrelevant's Trey Quinn.
Who I don't think is irrelevant at all.
Yeah, and I actually pulled an autograph of him the other day, so I got a Mr. Irrelevant autograph. He didn't sign.
Have to call he
didn't sign. He didn't sign it as Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call you on that one because I'm a Trey Quinn fan. But this is another autograph. This is Mike Hart, who obviously came from Onondaga County and did not play for Syracuse, played for Michigan. This is a sticker on the card, but this is an old card, folks. You see the shininess of it. This, I like the old cards for instead of just saying this is certified by Panini.
Yeah.
This has a paragraph that this is a real autograph. It says, "Congratulations, you have received a trading card that includes the autograph of Mike Hart. This autograph was signed in the presence of a company representative or sent from and certified as to its authenticity by Mike Hart. Enjoy your autograph card. The Upper Deck Company, Richard P. McWilliam," puts his name on it like the other guy did.
I'll give you a little backstory here. It's kind of dark, right?
Okay.
There was a period in the 90s where Upper Deck got in trouble for saying stuff was genuine, like game used.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. They got caught. And the gentleman that you talked about there, Richard McWilliam, who was the head of Upper Deck at the time, took a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And a lot of pressure. There was some other stuff going on, too, if you read the Upper Deck history at that time.
Yeah.
And the company's stock was dropping. They wanted him to step down. He was kind of refusing. And he wound up, not to get on a morbid tangent, but Mr. McWilliam wound up committing suicide from all the pressure. So it hurt Upper Deck. It's the reason.
So all that going on, and now
it's why they don't have licenses today, because the baseball and football said, we're not, after this, we're not going to grant you licenses. So Upper Deck now does hockey, and they do what's kind of Panini does with baseball. They do stuff without logos.
Yeah, so and he's on the back of this now.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, it's crazy because I didn't know that story, but that is, you know,
little bit of
bit of history,
of
and now it's like
Sport Card CEO demise. You know,
right?
Pretty dark stuff, but true. You know,
my last one to show you as of right now, before we go to John's collection of Newman sports cards here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, is that another guy that I covered. This is a rookie card. This is an RPA, rookie patch auto. So this is a rookie card with a signature not on card but on the sticker because it goes over his jersey. And then a pretty nice piece of his home jersey. This is Ryan Nassib's rookie card coming out of Syracuse, playing for the Giants under Tom Coughlin at the time. And so we have the blue patch, we have his autograph, and it's a rookie card numbered at 299 in the world. There is Ryan Nassib for all of you Syracuse fans that miss seeing the man who could do some great things. Has an arm, can run when he needs to.
I like Ryan. I thought he was going to, I don't know if he's gotten a fair shot or not, but I thought he was going to have a shot maybe to be successful at the next level.
I think he should have a shot in the NFL. If not, go to the AAF and go make people really upset that they didn't pick you up. I mean, if I'm Tim Tebow, I'd go to the AAF, but...
Well, the Tebow, I mean, he could have been probably an all-pro tight end, but he just didn't want to change positions. So
yeah, where Ryan Nassib's got the arm, and I love there was a representative from the Arizona Cardinals that came to see Ryan play in the Dome, and I was talking to the guy, and he goes, he's like, well, obviously the man can't run. And I looked at him, and I was like, no offense, because we're strangers, but have you watched him play? And, of course, he left at halftime, and Ryan needs 7 yards, he gets 9. Ryan needs 7, he gets 7. Ryan needs 7, he gets 8. But he is more than capable of running for the first down and not your traditional pocket passer. He also knows how to deal with a no-huddle offense and a hurry-up. And he's, I wanted this card because I wanted it. And if somebody wants it someday, I'm willing to let go of it. But I just respect Ryan, and I really, really hope that this man is going to get an opportunity. I would love the Broncos to say, go behind Case Keenum and learn a little bit here.
Yeah,
give him a shot.
I'm a season ticket holder for SU football, so I
love to see him play.
I watched him play all the time. Like I said, I thought he was going to, I don't think he's actually been given really a fair shake.
He hasn't.
So it'd be nice. Maybe he can wind up somewhere, even if it's obviously as a backup, but where he might get to see the field, or they'll recognize how talented he actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to continue here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, with John Newman of Newman Sports Cards, myself, Dan Tortora, with your collection, John. So we're going to get into some cards, and John I never know what John's bringing, and he doesn't know what I have. So when you see it here live on video and you're listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, when you see it and hear it for the first time, we are too. Outside of the Jackie Robinson that I knew was coming, we don't know each other's collection. So John and I happen to have the same cards that are coming up here, but they're cool. There's a base card in the 2018 Elite Rookie side of things for the NFL. There's a base and there's a variation, and I happen to own the same ones that John has, so let's take a look at them.
Okay, I'll hand them right to you. This is out of the new Panini Elite college draft pick. So These are all the guys that were obviously in the draft. The one thing I like about these is if you can find it, like you were saying, people are going to the stores and just buying these up and clearing the shelves out.
Yeah, but I had to wait over a week, and then I went and bought a bunch at Target, because Target was the only one in Central New York that had the 20 card packs, not the normal packs.
And
which you pretty much get an autograph in every one of them.
Yeah, and the other nice thing about these as well is pretty much per pack, you're getting at least one, if not more than one, of a lot of these first-round big-name guys, the Barkleys, Rosen, Allens, Mayfields, those type guys. So, and the cards are sharp-looking, in my opinion.
So these
are
the base variations of Saquon Barkley, which I have. Josh Rosen, which I also have here. John and I have these. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills fans. And then I just pulled the Baker Mayfield one. And I'm trying to think, do I have the Darnold? I don't have the Darnold. But I pulled like Derwin James and Saquon Barkley, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen. Just got the Baker Mayfield. The crazy thing about it is a lot of these packs, what they do is they have the packs that are like dedicated to a player, I feel like. So at least the ones I open, because I had the Josh Allen where I pulled the Josh Allen variation, which is this. The other Josh Allen where he's throwing the ball and pointing with a white jersey on. And then I got an insert of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of these where you get like the Baker Mayfield at the top of the deck, and then you get your autograph and you're flipping through and you get the other variation. So I have a lot of packs that I open where I got the cards and the variation of multiple players, where they're dedicating to one. So it's not like I got Saquon, opened 3 more packs, and got the other one. Sometimes that happens, but I've been able to get some really cool packs where I'm getting the variation and the base in the same pack, and I got used to it, like with Allen and Rosen especially, and then with Saquon. And I'm selling these. I'm getting rid of some of these, and John's obviously got these as well to give you the variations. And just so you know, folks, we're looking at 2 potential franchise quarterbacks, and we are obviously looking at potentially the greatest 2018 draft pick right here. We're looking at a guy that could make his hay for the next 8 to 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah,
Barkley.
I'm a Steeler fan, but I think I'm a Barkley believer. I think he's the next big running back.
Yeah, I like Saquon Barkley. I am a fan of Saquon for sure. So what else do we have here? What else we got going on?
This is the other product. That's
so the Elite, which I bought a lot of. Contenders I haven't bought.
Same company, Panini again. This is the Contenders. This is a little more of a pricier product.
Did you buy these ones that you called okay.
Yeah, these are out of packs. These are packs I opened where I got the autos.
Yeah, see, mine were bought individually of these. I have not opened a Panini Contender from this year, but I bought actual boxes last year of the Panini Contenders.
Yep. So these are sharp too. You know, love them or hate them, Panini does make some really nice looking product. These are Contenders, which are a little more higher price, but similar. Yeah. Players are similar. And the one thing about we're finding with these Contenders is kind of what we talked about earlier, is a lot of times when these bigger names, they'll put in these 5th and 6th round guys as autographs in there.
Yeah.
And when you pull them, you're like, oh, that kind of stinks. I was hoping to get so and so.
Right. But I don't feel that way now.
Yeah, but some people do. And it's funny because I've opened a lot of these products for years, and you get a 5th or 6th round guy, you put him in. I'll put him in my box, $5 or $6 on it. No one buys them. A year or two, they bust out, and then you go back into that box and like, I got to reprice this because this guy is now a borderline
for everybody that got
All-Pro.
the 6th round conditional pick Tom Brady's autograph.
Yeah,
I hope you held on to it.
Antonio Brown's, and there's a lot of stories like that.
Terrell Davis.
Yeah, so
a lot of guys.
And sometimes, I wonder, it might be a 50-50 proposition that the superstars come from the later rounds. This
year's 7th round, for goodness sakes, there's like 4 to 5 guys in the 7th round, at the bottom of the 7th round, that I'm going to watch this year.
Yep. So
I think they're going to make their teams. The Trey Quinns and so on and so forth.
Football is different than baseball because you don't get 4 years to hone your skills in the minor league system. You're thrown right into the fire, and you have maybe 3 years is a luxury. And if you don't get it done, you're, as you were saying, you have to find a lower league that exists. Or you're on your life's work, whatever that might be, a regular job.
But I think and like I said on the show earlier this week, it could be that I'm just paying more attention to the draft, that I'm paying more attention than I did my first ever mock draft this year. But when I'm pulling these rookies, and I'm seeing it from stuff that I've sold, through Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. I mean, I'm looking at stuff that I've sold. I mean, Matthew Thomas, for some reason, I've been pulling Florida State Seminole rookie cards, like a bunch of them. And Matt Thomas, I sold his. I actually had it at a price. I raised the price. I thought it was too low, and I sold it almost immediately after that. Chukwuma Okorafor out of Western Michigan, I sold his. So some of these guys that have gone, Dorian O'Daniel from Clemson. Yep. Austin Prohl was the first card that I sold, and he was the second to last pick. He was the Matt Days of this year. Ricky Prohl's son, who spent a lot of time in the NFL, played for the Rams as a receiver. Austin Prohl out of North Carolina. I sold that card almost immediately from when I had put it out there. And, I mean, that's the thing, is the cards that I've put out to sell are the ones we're talking about. They're the guys that slip to the 3rd round, the 4th round, the 6th round, the 7th round. And people really, right now, they want these guys. They want the autograph.
Well, and they're cheap enough where even if they don't make it, they don't lose.
If I'm spending $3.99 on a card,
you're not going to cry about it if they don't really amount. Their career doesn't amount to much. So, one of the guys, and I'm, I know my stuff, or if you will, but what's in football. Some of these late round picks, I'm going to be honest, I don't know everybody. So one of the guys here that I pulled an autograph of is a Chase Edmonds. And when I did a little research on him, I'm going to be honest with you, he's a running back from Fordham. Right. And, when you think Fordham, you don't think, football hotbed, okay?
Right.
And so I never heard of him, and I did a little research on him. He was picked, I believe, in the 3rd round by the Arizona Cardinals. And he's been compared to the guy he's probably going to back up, which is David Johnson. And they compare measurables. He's a receiving backfield, and he's actually highly rated. Yet here's a guy who, here I'm a football fan, I'm in the card industry, and I couldn't tell you who he was. And this guy is one injury away, potentially, from being a household name and a potential All-Pro.
And if he was on the team last year, he would have had plenty of playing time with David Johnson.
Yep, there he is, 134 on the screen there.
Yep, so he was drafted, Chase Edmonds, running back out of Fordham, drafted 134 to the Cardinals, and 4th-round draft pick. And so we have his card here that we can show you. So, out of Fordham, folks. Out of Fordham. Chase Edmonds. And a nice little C in scribbles. There's a first and last name somewhere in there. But Chase Edmonds, I don't know what happened. I got to ask a question, too, to my boy Tyler Lydon. That's, he's THL or T scribble L. I mean, you look at these two cards here, and this is Tyler Lydon, which also looks like TH with a little squiggle. And then we have, C. Oh. So I love Chukwuma Okorafor. I love his because his is like Chukwuma, and then there's like no last name.
Yeah, but some of these guys, the problem is they're signing thousands of these at a time, and they're getting tired, and they're just trying to get them done.
I gotta. You know what? I might have to jump out of the studio here into the office, run and get it, and bring it back. Because I have one where the guy literally wrote it out to make sure you could read it.
Some of them will put Bible verses on there as well, which is kind of cool. The worst autograph, I don't have it, but if anyone wants to Google it or eBay it, it's Andres Jimenez of the Mets prospect.
Yeah,
his autograph is brutal. I don't even calling it an autograph might be an overstatement. It looks just like a bunch of squiggly
lines. Well, I remember when I asked Etan Thomas, was it Etan? No, it wasn't Etan. When I asked, I forget the name of the guy. It was, I know that I know the name. It'll come to me. But when I asked him to sign it, he had come to my school and he was reading to us in the library. And when I asked him to sign his name, wasn't Etan, because I like Etan Thomas, and I know that he wouldn't sign like this. This guy literally wrote his name in third grade block letter. It looked like a child's writing. And I looked at it, I was like, no one's going to believe that this is a signature. They're going to think I wrote it. But this is Tecrae Scales from Indiana.
And he was undrafted, but he did sign after the draft with the LA Rams. So you never know. You know, he's probably on the outside looking in.
Right. But he's a linebacker.
But, you hear stories about these guys all the time that just come out of nowhere. So.
And then this is Rasheem Green. These are the ones that I have a lot of. I have a ton of these elite draft pick.
Yeah, these are
cards.
Generally, if you get the jumbo packs, like Dan was saying,
you're going to get at least one.
There's one. They're not one per pack, but if you buy 3, you're almost going to get at least 2 autographs.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is I've bought, I think, like 8 or 10 packs of the jumbo, and I've gotten an autograph in every single one except for one.
Yeah, I bought 6 and I got 5. So I don't want to say they're guaranteed every pack, but just about. And this gentleman here, Rasheem Green, was picked by the Seattle Seahawks in the 3rd round.
Right.
So Pete Carroll went back to his college team and plucked him. And if you follow football, Seattle's kind of in rebuild mode. So this guy probably has a shot to see the field and maybe
see, and I sold my Chukwuma and the thing is, right after I sold it, I said to my wife, I go, why did I put that out there to be sold? She goes, well, why did you do it? Like, if you want, and I was like, I just like his signature because it was like Chukwuma, and it was the whole sticker that he used. There's no Okorafor. It's just Chukwuma, and I was just
it's funny. There are some guys that just sign their first name, and then their last name kind of just disappears.
But it's pretty cool, and that's I love the elite, and I buy so many of the elites. I mean, those are the ones that I've hung my hat on so far. The Paninis, I haven't seen that you could buy the packs in a lot of places right now.
Yeah, the contenders
are waiting on. Normally, those are out by now.
Yeah, the contenders are a little harder to find than the elite.
Yeah.
But they're out there. If you do a little searching, you can get
do a little research of that. But with that being said, any final notes, John? With a few minutes left, any final notes on the sports card climate right now? I mean, we know that Josh Allen. If I could say this really quick here, if you're looking online on, like, let's just say eBay, and you're looking for a Josh Allen auto card going to the Bills, they're ranging right now from $60 to $109 to $80 to $175, $114. This one's $31 and this is for another day, but Leaf and Hit. Really nice cards, but their rookies are like $70 less.
Yeah,
for the autograph.
they're kind of viewed in the industry as the redheaded stepbrother of the Paninis and Tops.
Because a lot of these Paninis, 110, 112, score 57. That's another one that's lower.
This is the perfect example of what we were talking about before. Is just people love offensive guys. Because here you have a quarterback that, Bills fans might not like me saying this, but a lot of people kind of pick his game apart talking about Josh Allen, yet some of these cards are well over $100.
And how about this? We already have Baker Mayfield, $51. We have Baker Mayfield, $275 for the same draft pick looking card that we saw with the sticker card. $475 for him signing on card. The cracked ice from Panini Contenders. These are big ones.
Yeah,
this one's $600.
I pulled an Eddie George, which I have on eBay right now, that will probably bring close to $90.
Yeah, we have a bunch of school colors, 110 for Baker Mayfield. So if you want a quarterback that was drafted in the first round, you're looking at $100 at least on eBay if you're going to buy it. And unfortunately, for a lot of fans that wanted a Lamar Jackson autograph, there isn't any from Panini. He must have not signed a deal in time. His regular rookie card is going for $20. There's some helmets and some photos that you can buy for $120. But right now there are no autograph cards of. And
I know we spoke off the air about that. I think this is now. Obviously, I'm not directly involved.
Right.
But I told you what I assume happened there was him and his representative. Every player an agent negotiates their own card signing deal.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling the card Panini in this case probably said, listen, you're not ranked in the same breath with the Josh Rosens and Sam Darnolds and Baker Mayfields.
Yeah.
So we're going to offer you this for this amount of signing. And they probably balked at that and said, we would like, you say that, but my client or I feel I'm just as good, if not better than any of those guys.
Yeah.
So we should be entitled to that same sort of signing contract.
And it looks like they got caught in a dispute.
Yeah, they probably both had a stare-down contest, and Panini didn't blink, and therefore there's no Lamar Jackson autos in these
Which
products.
are going to make it worth a lot more when they finally come out.
Yeah, and sometimes you hear about these cases where the actually player will hold a grudge and will not sign with that company. And
it's like if you don't sign with Panini in football, they're like, what?
Yeah, the problem now is there really isn't a lot of competition. So back in the day, when there was 5 companies producing these cards, it was easier to say, okay, you won't pay me.
You can jockey with Upper Deck and Topps.
I'll go here, and they'll get the exclusive rights.
Yeah.
Now, and that's probably what led to this even happening, is Panini knows the players don't have a lot of fallback options.
Yeah.
So it became a game of chicken, and no one really wins, and the people who collect cards in a way kind of lose because they don't get the opportunity to pull a Lamar Jackson autograph at this point.
That coming from John Newman of Newman Sports Cards. Really quick, John, because we got about a minute here. Just where you're writing right now, because I know you started writing.
I'm at a site. It's a up and coming hobby. Focuses on the baseball end. It's called baseballcard.life.
Okay.
Back or / if you search baseball card life, it'll come up.
Okay.
Tons of articles pertaining to the industry with baseball cards.
Okay.
Super collections, positives and negatives in the hobby. The article I literally just wrote yesterday that's up on the site now is pertaining to card grading, which I know we talked about here on Wake Up Call.
Yep.
And in the article, I talk about the history of it, and if you are going to submit some cards, some tips to get potentially higher grades. Some mistakes I made early on that I know now not to do anymore. I'm kind of passing that on so someone else doesn't make the same mistakes I did at one point.
That coming from John Newman of Newman Sports Cards. Find him on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and you can also get the link that we'll put here on the video for Newman Sports Cards. This has been Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on video, and as always on mixlr.com/wakeupcall. DT, thank you so much. Connect with us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, on Twitter at Call DT, on Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. Buy your CNY Pop Festival tickets at cnypopfestival.com. I will, of course, be there, and so will John and Newman Sports Cards. And Jordan, shout out to you. And Pete Rose right now, everybody wants him in the Hall. 100% people voted.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that tell you? You know, I think he should be, but we'll see what baseball wants to do there.
And we thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to talking with you soon. God bless you, and have a phenomenal day, folks. Be well.